Reminder, coming up is the AFC NFC Pro Bowl game. Jeff Garcia making his second appearance in Hawaii.
You don't have to wait for local news to come on after the winter game.
Watch WZZM 13 News at 11 to get all the local news you need up front and on time.
WZZM 13 News at 11.
A story of hope and coincidence, Sunday at 11.
I was sitting in my place down in paradise, taking in the beautiful sights. When all of a sudden, do you know what I see? But the best NFL players coming at me in Hawaii. Oh, everything's sweet in Hawaii. Yeah, all you can eat in Hawaii. When the trade winds blow in, it means that the Pro Bowl's about to begin. Them by the pool or the ocean side, or by the coconut tree. But it was the hard work that they did for their team that got them out here living the dream. In Hawaii, oh, you can get a great tan in Hawaii and get sacked by stray hands. In Hawaii, yeah, the 50th state. To play in this game, you have to be great. In Hawaii, oh, watch that backswing. In Hawaii, hey, let's see that ring. In Hawaii,
The place to be. The Pro Bowl is next.
on ABC. Aloha! Hit it! Come on and hit it! Come on and get ready! Are you ready for some football? A superstar party! Yeah, this is Hank! Let's get this pigskin barbecue started! The game's best battle for bragging rights. It's the NFL Pro Bowl from Hawaii. That's right.
Our 50th state, Hawaii, on this 9th day of February. Temperature approaching 80, brisk trade winds at about 20 miles per hour, blowing through the islands today in Aloha Stadium, very close to Pearl Harbor in Honolulu. Filling to capacity today for the annual AFC NFC Pro Bowl game, a game that has been played here at Aloha Stadium for 23 consecutive years, ever since 1980. So here we go again as the National Football League season comes to a conclusion. I'm Al Michaels. Welcome to Honolulu. Well, about a week ago, I'm sure the St. Louis Rams, all five who were named to the NFC team, were expecting to come to Honolulu and celebrate a Super Bowl championship. Well, Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk and the rest are here, but not celebrating the championship because of the New England Patriots and their amazing win last week over the Rams. And when you think back to Kurt Warner 2 years ago, what an unbelievable story that was. That story perhaps even eclipsed this year by what happened with Tom Brady of the New England Patriots, who is here. We'll see him in the second half. In fact, we'll see him right now with Melissa Stark. Melissa?
Well, Al, Tom Brady entered training camp, the Patriots' third-string quarterback. You go on to become Super Bowl MVP, now here at the Pro Bowl. Can you describe what this year's been like for you?
Yeah, it's been quite a year. Had so much support along the way to go from third string to, like I said, Super Bowl MVP and to end up here in the Pro Bowl with all my friends and family and all these great players with me. It's what a ride.
Tom, enjoy the day. Well deserved.
Thanks a lot. Go AFC.
Let's go over to Eric Dickerson.
Thanks, Melissa. Marshall, the Rams had the most explosive offense in the league this year. How were the Patriots able to hold the offense to 17 points?
They played a great game. They came out and they played us tough. We made a lot of mistakes, turned the ball over, and that's things that you can't do in any football game, let alone a Super Bowl.
Thanks. Back to Al.
All right, Eric, and now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise to honor America. Presenting the colors is the Joint Intelligence Center Pacific Color Guard. And with us to sing our national anthem is one of pop music's most dynamic stars. Here is Jessica Simpson.
Oh, colors fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrecked the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sings us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free. And the home of the
And so on a beautiful day in Honolulu, we'll wrap up the season with the Pro Bowl. Coming up next.
Here are today's FedEx Air and Ground stats.
She wore white? She put her past behind her. But you're missing the point of the story. The groom's father-in-law hires him to run the mismanaged shipping department of the family business.
No honeymoon?
A week and a while.
That's nice.
Not bad, but keep up. The kid turns to FedEx Ground. They give him affordable nationwide B2B delivery with a money-back guarantee. And he gives Daddy Dearest a high-quality, low-cost lesson in who's the boss.
Who is the boss?
The kid.
The kid is now the boss?
The kid is now the boss.
That's the story?
That's it.
3 nights of raw emotion. 3 nights of gripping drama. 3 nights of burning passion.
You look hot.
3 nights with Aaron Spelling's Dynasty of Stars in the hot seat.
I'm as dumb as I thought I was.
Classic TV Millionaire begins Monday at 10/9 Central on ABC.
You can tune in, log on, and play now on Enhanced TV at ESPN.com or NFL.com. Enhanced TV is the ultimate NFL experience.
New England started this thing last week. It's an AFC thing. Baltimore started a year ago. We aren't losing. We're the AFC. Let's play with pride. Now I'm going to defer this thing to something I've been watching twice a year, and I watch him do it in the end zone. And for once, I want to see him do it in our locker room. Ray Lewis, take him, man.
All right.
What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?
But Dan Fouts, of course, has been in that AFC locker room. In fact, Dan played in 6 of these games, still holds the Pro Bowl record for most passing yards in a game. What kind of a game are we going to get today?
Well, you know, Al, football is the ultimate team sport, but to get to this game, players must show great individual talent, and we got the NFL's best today. Now, the rules are skewed towards the offense, especially the passing game. And Donovan McNabb and Cordell Stewart both have their head coaches here today, so you know they'll air it out. Now, while this is just a glorified exhibition game, football players are creatures of habit. That means they'll get competitive, they'll crank it up, the coaches will throw in some trick plays, and we're going to have a great time.
We'll have a good time. You know, we're missing our man because of his prior commitment to HBO. Dennis Miller had to do his show last night, but Denny's going to be on at the half. We're going to talk to him.
We miss you, Denny.
We already put in for your per diem, Denny. We'll talk to you at the half. Coming up, the kickoff, AFC, NFC.
It's time. It's time to walk into retirement. Why hang around just to break the all-time home run record?
Hank, would you cut it out already?
Hank who?
Want retirement advice from someone you can trust? At Charles Schwab, you'll get expert advice that's objective, uncomplicated, and not driven by commission. To discuss your retirement plan, call 1-888-4-SCHWAB.
ABC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
So here we go, the AFC and the NFC having at it in the Pro Bowl. 23rd consecutive game played at this stadium, and the NFC, white tops and blue pants with David Akers of the Philadelphia Eagles, one of 8 Eagles named to the Pro Bowl squad to kick it off. We mentioned the trade winds are brisk. In fact, the ball has been blown off the tee before we get underway. And back deep to receive for the AFC will be Jermaine Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens. Also, Troy Brown is back as well. And we can expect to see Troy returning a punt or two today, as well as playing at wide receiver in his 9th season in the league, part of the Super Bowl championship contingent, and playing in his first Pro Bowl. So from breezy and sunny Hawaii, we're underway. Good deep kick, fielded about 4 yards into the end zone, and then with some hesitation, coming back out is Troy Brown, and Brown brings it to the 28-yard line. Let's meet the AFC starters, the offense.
Rich Gannon, Oakland Raiders. Curtis Martin, New York Jets.
Larry Centers, Buffalo Bills.
Tim Brown, Oakland Raiders.
Marvin Harrison, Indianapolis Colts. Shannon Sharp, Baltimore Ravens. Jonathan Ogden, Baltimore Ravens.
Alan Faneca, Pittsburgh Steelers. Kevin Mawai, New York Jets.
Will Shields, Kansas City Chiefs.
Lincoln Kennedy, Oakland Raiders.
And so with Gannon at the controls to play the first quarter and maybe more, an errant pitch and a loose ball, and the NFC picks up the fumble inside the 10, and they take it down to the 2-yard line. Hugh Douglas of the Philadelphia Eagles picked up the fumble, almost rambled in for a touchdown after Gannon tries to pitch the ball back to Curtis Martin, and the NFC will have a 1st and goal.
Yeah, misdirection play to start the game to get the defense off balance, but it's a bad pitch by Rich Gannon as it goes behind Curtis Martin. Now Martin cannot get on this ball and cover it up, and the NFC has a great break to start this game. Looked like the ball might have slipped out of Gannon's hand. It was so far behind Curtis Martin.
So anything but a conventional start, the first play of the game, resulting in a turnover, setting the NFC up in prime position at the 2-yard line on 1st down and goal. Kurt Warner is the quarterback. Amon Green of Green Bay is the running back, and this is Green, and Green is into the end zone for a touchdown. So just 27 seconds into the game off the turnover, Andy Reid, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles and the head coach of the NFC team, watches his team move on top.
We had a great live shot from the sky cam right above the players. Now we look from the end zone. Just a simple belly play, and you're not going to see a lot of intensity to start this game out of the linemen. Look how high they're playing right here, and Amon Green goes in easily.
Now David Akers for the extra point. And just like that, after the fumble, the recovery by Douglas, the run by Green, 27 seconds into the Pro Bowl, the NFC takes the early lead.
Sean Bryan.
That's that sexy man I met the other night.
You want me to get it?
No, let the machine pick it up. I don't want him to know I'm home on a Friday night.
Hey, yo, Donna, it's Sean. Remember me? I'm at this crazy club right now. There's a lot of cute hotties, but I'm just thinking of you, girl.
Uh-huh. I know.
I'll call you tomorrow.
What if I give you a call when I'm feeling lonely?
Hold on. I lost my wallet and my credit card was in it.
You do have a Capital One no hassle card, don't you?
Well, don't worry. There's not another human for miles.
Worried about losing your credit card? With Capital One's no hassle card, you're not liable for a penny. Plus, get the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates and no telemarketing.
When reviewing the Lexus LS430, Automobile Magazine said, no car in this class has more inviting leather, a more comfortable ride, a superior stereo, or a more logical navigation system. Perhaps this is why, for the 2nd year in a row, Automobile Magazine has named the LS430 the best luxury car over $40,000. To its owners, it's the best luxury sedan in the world. The LS430. at your Lexus dealer.
The AFC NFC Pro Bowl game is being brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home. Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet? And Lexus and the IS 300 5-speed and Sport Cross. Totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. It was a fumble on the first play of the game as you look at Bruce Matthews, who in all likelihood, and we'll talk to him before the day is done, is playing his last football game. Chances are there's a good chance Bruce will retire.
Yeah, 14 Pro Bowls for Bruce Matthews, and great honor for him to make it one last time.
Now David Akers to kick off for the second time in the game. This one a shorter kick, and it's fielded by Jermaine Lewis of the Ravens at the 7-yard line. And Lewis brings it back out to the 25-yard line. So the AFC will try it again from that spot. Here's the NFC defense.
Michael Strahan, New York Giants.
Leroy Glover, New Orleans Saints.
Brian Young, San Francisco 49ers. Hugh Douglas, Philadelphia Eagles.
LeVar Arrington, Washington Redskins.
Brian Urlacher, Chicago Bears. Jess Armstead, New York Giants. Rondé Barber, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Aeneas Williams, St. Louis Rams.
Sammy Knight, New Orleans Saints.
Brian Dawkins, Philadelphia Eagles.
And Gannon's pass is caught by Marvin Harrison of the Indianapolis Colts. He'll spot the ball up at the 31-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
That's a little bit more like it for Rich Gannon, who was the Pro Bowl's MVP last year for the AFC, overcoming that bad pitch on the first play and going back to a little rhythm pass out to Marvin Harrison.
In fact, Gannon followed up that MVP award here by putting himself in a position to win the regular season award this year. And that passed on a little bit behind Larry Centers. Covering on the play was Jesse Armstead. But as November turned into December, Dan, as we recall, Rich Gannon until that point was as likely as anybody to win the NFL's MVP award.
And the Raiders went into a slide. They quit finishing off games. They dropped a couple in a row. But Gannon showed really what he's all about. It had an outstanding game in the playoffs against the New York Jets.
The award was eventually won by Kurt Warner for the 2nd time in 3 years. Now on 3rd and 4, Gannon fires over the middle, and it's dropped by Tim Brown at the 38-yard line. So how's that for news? I mean, you've got a guy who's used to throwing to a teammate every day in practice throughout the regular season, puts it right on the money, and he simply drops it.
And very vanilla coverages in the Pro Bowl. You see the short arms there by Tim Brown, as he knew that Jesse Armstead was coming from the weak side. This is really remedial football, and you would expect the offenses to perform a little better than we've seen so far.
Shane Leckler of the Raiders is the AFC punter, and Steve Smith, the only representative of the Carolina Panthers to appear here, is the run-back specialist. The kick fielded on a hop at the 22 by Smith, and the rookie from Utah with room to roam across the 50. And Steve Smith, who ran the first kickoff of his career back for a touchdown on opening day against Minnesota, sets the NFC up at the 38-yard line of the AFC. 7-0 National Conference.
Right now, you can get a DirecTV system at Blockbuster absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free. Not only that, we'll also give you free professional installation. Plus, only Blockbuster will give you an entire year of free movie and game rentals. It's a free DirecTV system. It's free professional installation. It's free rentals for a year. It's the deal you don't want to miss. Get a free DirecTV system only at Blockbuster. Just stop by your local participating store.
There's a light in your soul. It says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. There's nothing better. Be you, do what you do.
faster than ever Lexus GS 430. Pace yourself.
ABC Sunday, starting 9/8 Central. The one night where 2 of television's best dramas are all new.
I want you to kill them all.
Quentin Tarantino in a new Alias. Then 10/9 Central. The brutal attack. Now the heart-stopping fallout. A new practice after a new Alias. Sunday starting 9/8 Central on ABC.
Tomorrow, don't miss the ABC Sports Special on the men who made the NFL season. Melissa Stark will be talking with Tom Brady, Garrison Hurst, Michael Strahan, Donovan McNabb, and Cordell Stewart. You'll see it tomorrow on ABC at 1:30 Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. Now the NFC with the ball for the second time. And on first down, Warner throws, and that's David Boston, who had a tremendous year with the Arizona Cardinals. First down of the 15, the NFC offense.
Phil Warner, St. Louis Rams. Marshall Falk, St. Louis Rams.
Mike Allstott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Terrell Owens, San Francisco 49ers.
David Boston, Arizona Cardinals.
Bubba Franks, Green Bay Packers. Chris Samuels, Washington Redskins.
Leonard Ray Brown Jr., San Francisco 49ers.
Olin Kreutz, Chicago Bears.
Ron Stone, New York Giants.
James Williams, Chicago Bears.
Now from the 16 on first down, Warner has that batted down. Boy, there's some great stories along that offensive front as Sam Adams knocked it down. For starters, Dan, you've got Ray Brown, 39 years old, 16th year in the league, first Pro Bowl.
And he's been playing at a Pro Bowl level for many, many years, but sometimes it's just tough to crack the lineup. You talk about staying with it, though, but Ray Brown, or Leonard Ray Brown Jr., as he said, talk about a guy that has been able to be the glue for that 49er line and finally get in the Pro Bowl vote.
Second down and 10, and through the middle to the 12-yard line goes Mike Allstott, and another guy would be James Big Cat Williams, 11 years in the league, and he gets his first Pro Bowl start.
And this is what they're looking across. The line is Ray Lewis, the great middle linebacker of the Ravens, playing in his 5th straight Pro Bowl. There's Kreutz with the block, and then the contact. That's the classic fullbacks. Allstott stopped by the classic middle linebacker, Ray Lewis.
So Lewis's pregame speech. Each member of the winning team gets $30,000. Each member of the losing team, $15,000. Third down and 6. Warner hanging in there, patting the ball, and then throws incomplete. He, of course, pats the ball. That's his habit. We see that during the regular season as he tries to hit Falk, but there's little doubt, we talked to him before the game, that thumb is still bothering him, Dan.
And the defense, this is what he's looking at. Watch him look to the left here, and then here's his outlet receiver. And again, I think the thumb, whenever you see a ball sail high on a quarterback, that's a grip problem. And obviously with a bad thumb, that's going to affect that pass.
Bothered him last week in the Super Bowl. We might not see him play that much more today. 29-yard field goal attempt for David Akers. And the Philadelphia Southpaw bangs it through to put the NFC up by 3 more. So the National Conference 10-0 over the American Conference.
You've got a passion. It's called peace.
Race-inspired cockpit. Chronograph-style instrumentation. Introducing the high-performance IS from Lexus. Totally unexpected. For an incredible value, just show up at your Lexus dealer.
What's better than getting more money back on your taxes? How about winning $1 million? Double check your taxes with H&R Block and you could win $1 million. The H&R Block $1 million giveaway. Call today to make an appointment.
Akasha, mother of all vampires. If looks can kill, she will leave you cold. Aaliyah, Stuart Townsend. Anne Rice's Queen of the Damned. Rated R. Starts February 22nd.
Fear me.
2 hours of hard riding, and I was hurting. So I took control with Advil. Not Tylenol, not Aleve. Nothing's proven stronger or lasts longer than Advil.
You have the strength to get rid of pain. Take control. Take Advil.
Kurt Warner, league MVP, wrapping up his 3rd season in the National Football League. He's missed 5 starts over those 3 years with injuries. And over those 3 years, he's made 43 starts. And look at where he ranks in the history of the league. In his first 43 starts, first in every category except in TD passes, where he would be second to Dan Marino, and in yards per pass, second to Norm Van Brocklin.
And it's impressive that he's even here today. We talked about his bad thumb. Missed last year's Pro Bowl with a concussion. But Kurt Warner loves to play football. This is his way of giving back to all the fans, playing in this game despite a bad thumb.
David Akers sends this kick down to the 9-yard line. Jermaine Lewis of the Ravens comes straight up the middle. And a good run back all the way up to the 43-yard line. And that's where the AFC will take over again with Gannon at quarterback. The backup quarterbacks are Cordell Stewart, so we'll see a lot of Stewart probably in the second quarter and into the second half. And then Tom Brady, the Super Bowl MVP, is the number 3 quarterback, and we'll see Brady in the fourth quarter as you look at Cordell Stewart. And Brady's just going to take a good part of the afternoon off and then probably wrap it up for the AFC. From the 42-yard line on first down now for the American Conference, down 10-0 early in the game. Toss back to Curtis Martin. Martin swinging to the outside. He was second in the league in rushing this year to Priest Holmes. Takes it up to the 44.
7 straight 1,000-yard rushing season for Curtis Martin, and one of these days we're going to quit calling him underrated and underpublicized, because these numbers won't lie. They just keep jumping right back at you. Main man for the New York Jets, as he was for the New England Patriots before that big trade, huh?
You're right. If you call a guy underrated long enough, then he loses the label. Second down and 7. It's about time in his case from the 44-yard line. Gannon under pressure, throws, and breaking free was Marvin Harrison. Blown coverage in the secondary. Harrison got free, got behind the safeties, and the Indianapolis Colts takes it in for the touchdown. 55 yards. Gannon to Harrison.
Marvin Harrison running a post route, and watch Rondé Barber. He's thinking interception. He picked off 10 this year, but watch left side of the screen as Gannon surveys the field. Barber cuts underneath. Ball perfectly placed in Harrison's hands for the easy score.
And now Jason Elam, who played his college football in this stadium. He went to the University of Hawaii. Elam of the Broncos tacks on the extra point. So we played only 4.5 minutes, but we've already had 17 points. AFC getting on the board here. Gannon to Harrison.
The Lexus GS Series. Driving the way you've never experienced it before. See you, Lexus dealer.
How do you integrate your new internet data centers with your legacy systems? Link up your remote locations with your VPN and make it all run smoothly so you're free to do what you really do best. Let the experts at AT&T tie it all together for you.
You truly are my true love. Our love shines like a beacon. It's perfect.
ABC Sports goes strong to the hoop. Highly ranked Oklahoma
Oklahoma State battles Fresno State, and Big East rivals meet when Miami faces Boston College. Tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern.
Pro Bowl, 10-7, the NFC on top. Some different rules for the Pro Bowl. There's no motion and no shifting for the offense, and no intentional grounding if the quarterback throws the ball toward the line of scrimmage, whether he's in the tackle box or not. Defensively, you have to use the standard 4-3. They say no pass rush stunts. They say no blitzing. But as the game moves along, Dan, we've seen it through the years, you might say they shave the rules a little bit. At the 16-yard line, Steve Smith of the Panthers comes back the other way, and that's an ill-advised move, and he loses the ball inside the 10-yard line. And it's going to either be first and goal for the AFC, or the NFC somehow is able to retain possession, which they do, deep in their own territory.
Well, the last thing you want is when you change directions is to turn and look at a freak. And that's what happens as Javon Curse is going to be there. Watch the reverse pivot here by Smith. Ill-advised, number 90's the freak. He not only spins him around, separates him from the ball, and there's 3 or 4 white and red jerseys there that can't come up with the ball.
Jeremiah Trotter, the Philadelphia Eagle linebacker, makes the recovery. That's one of the things I enjoy the most about the Pro Bowl, then, is you'll see guys on special teams you'd never see during the regular season. For instance, somebody like Curse.
Yeah, and the thing that the only guys who really like the special teams are the returners, because you know the tacklers aren't very good.
From the 7-yard line on first down, this is Falk picking up 3. Let's take a look at the AFC starting defense.
John Abraham, New York Jets.
John Randall, the new Seattle Seahawks.
Sam Adams, Baltimore Ravens. Marcellus Vernon Wiley, San Diego Chargers. Jameer Miller, Cleveland Browns. Ray Lewis, Baltimore Ravens. Jason Gilpin, Pittsburgh Steelers. Ryan McNeil, San Diego Chargers. Delta O'Neal, Denver Broncos. Rodney Harrison, San Diego Chargers. Rod Woodson, Baltimore Ravens.
And that pass is intercepted by Delta O'Neal of the Broncos. Warner's pass sailing, and O'Neal takes it to the 6-yard line. So an early AFC turnover, and then the NFL returns the favor. Bubba Franks was the intended receiver. Warner overshoots him, and then O'Neal brings it back and sets up a first and goal.
Bad combination for a quarterback to have a bad thumb and to be playing in the swirling winds of Aloha Stadium. Uncharacteristically, Warner lets that one go high, and now the showboating begins by Delta O'Neal. First Pro Bowl selection, picked off 4 in one game this year.
Played his college ball at the University of California. First down now for the AFC. The ball is at the 6-yard line as they try to take the lead. It's given to Curtis Martin. He works his way to the outside for only 2. Jeremiah Trotter, 54 of the Eagles, trips him up, 2nd and goal.
And now this is where the rules do get bent just a little bit, because a lot of play action down here. A lot of times the linebackers are totally coming after the first look that they see. That time Jeremiah Trotter was on a run blitz, but you can't blame them. They're on almost the goal line. Defense is here. They can use the 6-man line. The linebackers can put their hands on the ground, and they are totally coming after the ball carrier. 2nd down and goal now from the 4-yard line. On the ground, through the middle, into the end zone goes Curtis Martin for the touchdown. Well, the AFC spotted the NFC a 10-0 lead, and in just a couple of minutes, back they come to score 2 touchdowns, and Andy Reid's team now trails. Straight up the middle behind All-Pro center, Kevin Mawai of the Jets. Here he is right in the middle, working with Reuben Brown, number 79, and Will Shields. That's a huge hole, and John Lynch can't do anything about it.
Extra point now for Jason Elam. And the AFC leads by 4. So each team turning it over. The other team capitalizing in each instance. And it's 14-10 AFC.
You can slow down investing. You can stop investing entirely.
There was one man who had a funny hat.
But you can't stop curious toddlers from one day becoming college freshmen.
And there was a small man that someone put him in a bird cage.
which is why your Morgan Stanley financial advisor will never let you lose sight of what you're investing for.
And...
Well, did you get it? Just picked it up. It's set up in the den. Boys, feast your eyes on the future.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah, it's got 3 cheeses, a grilled tortilla case, all standard, and then went for the upgrade.
Wow, steak. Oh, the S-Class.
Marinated carne asada steak, 3 melted cheeses. Upgrade to steak with Taco Bell's new steak quesadilla. And think outside the bun.
There's never been anything like this high-powered European-engineered machine. With 6 speeds, stainless interior, and energy efficiency that will take you farther on 15.8 gallons than on everyone else's 42.4. The Kenmore Elite HE3T washer. It simply outperforms every other American machine in its class. In fact, it takes doing laundry in a whole new direction.
Tuesday, if you don't watch The Chair.
I'm going to get really cranky. And people, you do not want to see me cranky.
The Chair, a new episode Tuesday at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Sunday night original entertainment programming on ESPN. The Block, following a juvenile prison football team as they experience the freedom of playing ball. Pardon the interruption. Sports Century 1980 and Sidelines LA Hoops. That's the Block on ESPN tomorrow night. A little more than 8 minutes to go in the quarter as the kick by Elam is taken by Steve Smith, who fumbled his last run back. This time he holds on. Takes it up to the 29-yard line. Well, we have players mic'd up. We have coaches mic'd up. John Randall, the loquacious one.
Hi, my name is John Randall. And I play for the AFC. I used to play for the NFC. Where the music at, man? Ain't no music out here.
Well, he used to play for the NFC. Now he plays for the AFC. But if he stays in Seattle and gets to the Pro Bowl next year, he's back in the NFC because the Seahawks are going to the NFC West.
Yes, they are.
From the 29-yard line on first down, here is Warner under pressure and underthrows Mike Allstott. With the Houston Texans, the expansion team, coming into the league next year to make it 32 teams. And Houston, part of the AFC, an AFC team had to go over to the NFC, and it was the Seahawks.
Let's check out John Randall working against Big Cat Williams. John Abraham here, rather. He knocks down the quarterback and the huge offensive lineman. John Abraham from the Jets.
2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line. Warner throws, caught out in the flat here. That's Chad Lewis of the Philadelphia Eagles, tackled by Rod Woodson. And let's check in with Eric Dickerson.
I'm here with Michael Strahan, a 4-time Pro Bowler. Michael, you had another double-digit sack here. You broke the sack record, 22.5 sacks. How important was that record for you?
Well, it was great. I tell you what, I couldn't ask for anything more except for a few more wins on the team chart. So it was almost bittersweet. And hopefully next year, maybe I could break that. And if I do, hopefully we go a lot further than we went this year as a team.
Now, some people said that record was a little bit tainted. What do you say to those people?
Well, I react to what happens. I'm going to enjoy it. I went through about 2 days of thinking about that, and after that, you know what? I figured I know what I do. I play for a living. I play hard every game. I do my best, and I'm going to enjoy it, and that's the way it's been, and the players have been great. You know, players know, and I don't think anything else, you know, guys here have been great about it.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Al?
Well, you're right, Eric, and I think, Dan, that record will always be tainted because of what happened with Brett Favre. Brett Favre getting sacked, and of course, each guy contended it was legitimate. It happened that way, and there were a lot of disbelievers.
Well, but Michael Strahan didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
He went in and played the play as he saw it, made the tackle. It was a tackle, but they credit it as a sack, and only Brett Favre can really answer to why he did what he did.
Todd Sauerbrun's kick is fielded at the 11-yard line, and this is Jermaine Lewis doing a dance, and he brings it back up to the 19.
Well, you know, Al, Michael Strahan did establish a new single-season sack record with his 22.5, and he got 9 of them when his team needed them the most. He got 4 sacks against the Rams' Kurt Warner in Week 5. And then against division rival Philadelphia, Strahan trapped the elusive Donovan McNabb 5 times in the 2 games his teams played. to beat the old record of Mark Gastineau of the New York Jets. Great season for Michael Strahan.
And blanked in those first two games, the first of which was the opening Monday night game, the season opener at then brand new Invesco Field in Denver. Well, Rich Gannon and the AFC now will have the football at the 19-yard line. Since this format began with the AFC and the NFC in 1970 following the merger between the NFL and the AFL, 24 points, the most points scored in any first quarter, and we still have about half the quarter to play. Priest Holmes of the Kansas City Chiefs, there he is the running back, the NFL rushing king this year. Gannon throws, caught on the sideline by Hines Ward of Pittsburgh. And let's check in with Melissa Starr.
Well, Aldelta O'Neal with 1 interception today. Earlier this season, tied an NFL record with 4 interceptions in 1 game against Kansas City. You on your way to a new record today?
Nah, I'm just trying to make plays. We're trying to win, so trying to set our team up in the best position to win.
Trying to get that 30,000.
Exactly.
This is your first Pro Bowl. What's been the best part about it?
Just here chilling with my baby, my newborn Talia, and enjoying the hot sun because I'm in Colorado. It's cold as ever out there, so just enjoying the nice weather. That's my best.
And you're going jet skiing today?
Jet skiing I will be. If you want to come, tag along. We have a tailgate party.
All right, have fun. Back to you, Al.
All right, he'll get in some jet skiing. The game figures to be over by about 3 o'clock local time after Larry Centers carried the ball close to a first down up at the 28-yard line. And there is Priest Holmes, and he emerged. What a breakout season for him, Dan.
Yeah, and when Dick Vermeil took over as the head coach of the Chiefs, he knew what style of offense he wanted to run. Well, it's the same thing he ran with the Rams, but I think he didn't really realize he'd get a similar type of running back in Priest Holmes to Marshall Faulk.
And here is Holmes, and he works his way up to the 31-yard line, and that'll move the chains. First down.
Yeah, Holmes is exactly what Dick Vermeil needed. He led the NFL in rushing and total yardage. And the system that the Chiefs run, very similar to what the Rams do. They don't have the talent except for this man right here. Very similar to Marshall Faulk with the desire to get in the end zone.
Priest Holmes sent to Kansas City, of course, had Brian Billick known that Jamal Lewis was going to get hurt in preseason, Holmes would have remained a Raven. There's a little flip back to Gannon on a flea flicker that wobbles in the wind, and coming back at the 40-yard line to pick it off, Troy Brown.
That ball was end over end. That wasn't even a wobble.
I say pick it off. He had the look of a guy playing defensive back. He, of course, was the intended receiver, coming back and making the catch, the coverage by Rondé Barber.
And Rich is telling Troy to signal for a fair catch on this bunt. Great job of coming back for it in front of Rondé Barber. I mean, he was well covered here, but the ability to find that duck and run it down, that was great.
From the 29-yard line, back to the ground they go, and this is Holmes. And Holmes inside the 20, into the end zone. Priest Holmes. This is a lot like a typical National Hockey League All-Star game.
Another shot on goal and they score. Not a good first half for Rondé Barber. Watch Barber on the outside here as Priest Holmes cuts to the outside. Missed tackle there. And that's not even a frozen puck.
NFC is trying to sign Patrick Waugh as we speak. Jason Elam for the point after. So the NFC led 10-0, and the AFC now looking for its 21st unanswered point.
For a minute there, I thought we were having a challenge there, but of course in the Pro Bowl there are no challenges.
No challenges.
Thank goodness.
No challenges. There is overtime, though. In fact, we had an overtime game here a few years ago. And Elam puts it through. And with 4:43 to go in the opening quarter in Honolulu, it is 21-10 AFC, and let's go to Eric.
I'm here with new Hall of Famer Dan Hampton of the Chicago Bears. Dan, a lot of people talk about that Bears defense of 1985 being one of the greatest defenses of all time. What was one of your fondest memories of that defense?
Well, you know, actually you had a little bit to do with that. Y'all came in and we had a pretty good day against you guys when you were with the Rams. But, you know, we had so many great players, and it was an honor just to be on the football field with them. But, you know, when you get enough people that really care, and we had so many great players. You know, Singletary's in the Hall, and Richard Dent, McMichael, Wilbur Marshall, Otis Wilson. Man, I tell you what, playing a lot of good games was easy for us.
Now, what one person had the biggest influence on your NFL career?
Well, I tell you what, you know, I had great coaching all through, but I tell you this, even with Mike Dickey, I think Buddy Ryan, you know, and a lot of people that played for Buddy, Buddy was special to us all in a very different way, but Buddy was the guy that kind of taught me to, you know, grow up and be a man, because this is not an easy game. I mean, it's a brutal game, played by hard men, and hey, it's time to grow up. And he was very instrumental in making me understand that a great pro doesn't show up once in a while, he shows up every down, and that's probably the guy that had the biggest impact.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Eric.
Al.
Our congratulations to Danimal.
Yeah, the Danimal.
Dan Hampton. Our congratulations to Jim Kelly, the Buffalo quarterback, new Hall of Fame inductee. Jim was here for a couple of days earlier in the week and then had to return home, but we look forward to the induction ceremonies in Canton, Ohio when the preseason begins, and we'll talk to the other new Hall of Famers as the afternoon moves along here in Honolulu.
Such a treat for the Hall of Famers to come to this game, because so many of them played here in the in the Pro Bowl game, and to be able to walk down the middle of the starting lineup for both squads and to get the applause of the crowd to be introduced as Hall of Famers, it's an unforgettable experience for these guys.
And it's just sinking in for some of these guys because the voting took place a week ago today. Pretty good way to celebrate. A little trip to Hawaii. Jason Elam's kick is fielded at the 11-yard line, and this is Steve Smith of the Carolina Panthers. Trying to find some room and finds none. Taken down at the 22-yard line, hit hard right there by Kendrell Bell, the youngest player in the game, the rookie from Pittsburgh. Brad Childress calling the plays for the NFC. The assistant coach has the headset on, and we can listen in as he makes the play call, and the quarterback's coach to Warner. Well, we will listen in.
Yeah, he probably just whispered it to him while they were over on the sidelines, but we'll get to hear exactly what they're doing, especially in those crucial situations.
Yes. At the 22-yard line on first down, Warner slings it to the outside. That's caught by David Boston for a gain of about 9. Let's check in with Melissa.
Well, Priest Holmes was an undrafted free agent out of Texas 5 years ago. This year led the NFL in rushing yards, total yards from scrimmage. Did you always know that you had that kind of ability?
Well, the ability was there, definitely, because when I was in Baltimore, I was playing with a number of great athletes. Rod Woodson, Ray Lewis. Those are the type of guys that you learn underneath. And when playing football, it's one of those things that you love to do.
Now, I got to get to the bottom of this. When you found out that you made the Pro Bowl, you told your entire team that you'd bring them?
I went crazy and I said, y'all are all coming. But unfortunately, some had school to go back to. Some of their wives wouldn't let them go. But at the same time, some of them did come.
You are setting a bad precedent. Thanks. Back to you, Al.
Priest Holmes looking for a new contract to pay off the expenses. Keyshawn Johnson just made that catch, and it's a first down. Well, you're looking at Kurt Warner. He was undrafted. And look at these guys, undrafted out of college, and they are all here. All 10 of them were named to the Pro Bowl. Rod Smith is not physically here, replaced because of injury, but you know, you talk about holes in a scouting system. Well, there are 10 pretty good examples. First and 10. Warner flings it over the middle, and it's knocked down. Reaching in to get a hand on it was Rodney Harrison. I don't know if it's just flaws in the scouting system, Dan, or a combination of perhaps a flaw in that scouting system, and also the late development of some of these players.
I think a lot of players mature at different ages, and Kurt Warner is a great example of how he not only matured late, but also had to get experience at different leagues. Played in the Arena League, played over in Europe, and that experience plus his own natural maturity is the reason he's the great player he is.
Second down and 10 from the 37-yard line. And that's Terrell Owens of the San Francisco 49ers out to the 47-yard line. Now we'll hear Childress making the play call, we think.
Double wing right.
I got it right.
This is quarterback sneak right. I like that one. Double wing right, quarterback sneak right. Play your back offset left. Right at the end of the line.
How do you like that one? The answer should be not very good, Coach. Quarterback sneak. Come on, we got Pro Bowlers lining up in the backfield. And Kurt Warner's got a bad thumb, but watch this. It's going to be a quarterback sneak.
3rd down and 1. There he goes.
Okay, guys.
As Dennis would say, bucks it up in there hard.
Not that hard.
Right.
That was a kind of a softie there. Kind of leaned on the center there, Olin Kreutz.
In behind the Chicago Bears center, Olin Kreutz. And for Olin, what a thrill this is, because he played his high school football here in Honolulu at St. Louis High School. There he is. In fact, when I started my broadcasting career here and I was doing high school football, his uncle, Baba Kreutz, was playing for Kalani High School.
That's great. How was Baba?
Baba was great. He was an outstanding fullback. Reminded me a lot of, like, he was a Don Nottingham type. Ray Lewis is saying that much short.
Yeah, that's the other part why you don't want to run a quarterback sneak. Ray Lewis, that's enough to make Kurt Warner say, I think I'll audible on this or change the play. Here it is.
Okay. Hey, let's go get it. Let's go get it.
I got the ball. 4th down.
As easily as Amon Green scored on his touchdown from the 2-yard line. Our Marshall Falk is in the game here now, but this is a passing formation. Watch for another sneak.
Don't get into shape.
4th down, a couple of inches. Flag. It's our first flag of the game. Ron Blum is the referee. AFC started to come across the line. The question was there a false start?
And the great thing about the quarterback sneak is that is a tuck. And Ron, of course, involved in a play earlier this year.
Offside, 75 defense, 5 yards. By measurement, the 1st down.
That's Marcellus Wiley, the former Bill, who played the season with San Diego. Yeah, it's a funny thing because so much was made of the Tom Brady play in the Oakland game, and yet in the Monday night game, that's the first time this year it happened with Warner and the tuck rule coming into play. And I know as we were watching the snowball on television, Dan, it's the first thing that came into our minds. At the 48-yard line now is Warner. Starts to throw over the middle, tip, and nearly picked off, incomplete.
You know, Al, it would be a safe bet to assume that the league would do something about when a quarterback is trying to throw a pass or trying to maintain possession of the ball by tucking it away. Both Kurt Warner and Tom Brady were clearly not trying to throw a pass, but were trying to maintain possession of the ball. Both of these plays were called incomplete passes, and especially the Raiders and Tom Brady, you talk about a crucial call, but it was the correct call, just a bad rule.
And apparently it is a rule that's going to be looked at very carefully at the owners' meetings as far as the competition committee is concerned, as that pass is overthrown and incomplete, intended for David Boston and covered by Delpa O'Neill. That is clearly one of the rules that will be a subject of much discussion in Orlando in March. Flag down here.
And apparently this is a rules infraction penalty flag thrown by the umpire, who is in direct communication with observers up here in the press box.
What do you do? Line up, what do you do?
We eavesdrop. And unsportsmanlike conduct would indicate a rules violation. And this call is coming from upstairs.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal defense. There was no safety in the middle of the field by rule in this game. There must be a safety in between the hash marks. That's a 15-yard penalty in the 1st down.
A safety between the hash marks. I think Larry Peccatello is the NFL observer upstairs, and so it's his call to make. And he signals down to the umpire, who then tells referee Ron Blum, and there's your penalty.
And the tough thing about that is that safety's reading the quarterback's eyes, trying to figure out where he's throwing the ball. Warner throws the ball to the outside, the safety reacts, and so at some point he leaves the middle of the field because he's trying to make a play on the ball.
That result, 1st down, NFC at the 33-yard line. Warner pump faking, throwing, caught by his teammate over the middle. Marshall Falk, one ram hits the other. Gain of 8. Here's Melissa.
Al, it is hard to believe that Bruce Matthews is coming off his 19th season. The big question, of course, that everybody wants to know, is this the last game we'll see you play in?
Well, there's a good chance it is, and I guess I'm still not, I don't know, bold enough to say this is my last game, but there's a pretty good shot it is. So I'm enjoying this week, and our family's had a great time.
You were left unprotected. Any chance that you'd stay at home in Houston where you have a house, where you played most of your career if selected?
It's strange because I read about it in the sports every day, and part of me saying, oh yeah, I can still play, no problem. And then I go out and run around a little bit and feel horrible, and the more sane side of me says no way. But at this point, I'm probably done, but you never know. We'll see.
It's been a great ride. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Melissa. Well, the Houston Texans, if they choose, could select Matthews in the expansion draft, which comes up in a couple of weeks. There are 5 players in this game who have been left unprotected by their current teams who could be chosen by the brand new franchise. 3rd down and 1, and this is Falk, and that's a nice tackle made by the Jet, John Abraham.
Getting back to Bruce Matthews, the amazing thing about Matthews, and there's plenty, is that in this game, he's the backup center, but he's also the long snapper. How about that?
Great football family. His dad, of course, was a professional player, and brother Clay, the longtime Browns linebacker, retired a few seasons ago. The players in today's game: Ken Dilger of Indianapolis, Gary Walker of Jacksonville, Jesse Armstead of the Giants, Jermaine Lewis of Baltimore, and Matthews. They are the 5 exposed to the expansion draft. The most likely to be chosen by Houston would probably be Gary Walker, the tackle from the Jaguars. Field goal attempt here from 41 yards. David Akers of the Eagles, and he sends that one right down the middle. From 41 as the quarter ends. Highest scoring quarter in the history of the Pro Bowl. And we'll be back after this message and a word from more ABC stations. Back to Honolulu.
You like simple better than complicated. You like quick better than slow. You like easy better than hard. So now pay with SpeedPass at both Mobil and Exxon. It's fast, it's free, and it links to a check card or major credit card you already have. Call toll-free or visit speedpass.com. We're drivers too.
Starting Sunday, ABC has 2. That's right, 2 aces up our sleeve. Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Then Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, ABC Sunday, 7, 6 Central, and Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, ABC Monday, 8, 7 Central.
You sure this is gonna work? We do this all the time.
Come on, let's go.
I got it. It's cold. Freezing.
Good.
If you have another one, you're gonna need it. I'm getting hot.
Eat a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich seasoned with our own blend of pepper and spices, and you get a spicy hit that makes you feel warm all over. Perfect for that low-budget winter vacation.
Some luck?
Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. When you're hot, you're hot. Remember, Wendy's pickup windows open late so you can eat great even late.
For Winter Games results, go to WZZM13.com.
Tom Brady 6 days ago in New Orleans, and there were the numbers and the key yardage coming on that very last drive.
A lot of people thought that the Patriots might take a knee, but Tom Brady and Bill Belichick had other plans. The great thing about the drive is he made the plays when he had to. Completed 5 of 8, spiked the ball twice to stop the clock, and J.R. Redmond did an outstanding job of diving there to get out of bounds. But this type of drive, this is legendary. To win a Super Bowl game with a field goal, Tom Brady joins the ranks of Unitas, Montana, and Elway.
Second year out of the University of Michigan. Well down the depth chart. Kickoff here by Akers, taken by Jermaine Lewis. He has a Super Bowl ring as a member of last year's champion Ravens. And Lewis brings the ball back to midfield and into NFC territory. Dan, I think everybody should get out of the prediction business. Rams are 4-12, win the Super Bowl in '99. Ravens 8-8, win the Super Bowl the following year. Patriots 5-11, lose Bledsoe after the second week, win the Super Bowl. Go figure.
Well, it seems like it's a quarterback thing, too. Before each of those teams win the Super Bowl, nobody expected that the quarterback position would be so influential in winning the Super Bowl. And what Tom Brady did this year, you know, and Bill Belichick should get a lot of credit, too, for sticking with him after Bledsoe gets healthy, not changing the chemistry of the team. Bledsoe should get credit for being a team guy. And, of course, Tom paid it all off.
Gannon hits Harrison. So it begs the question now, with Brady probably on the verge of getting a new contract, what do you do with Drew Bledsoe? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, you know, obviously there are going to be a lot of teams coming to the Patriots and talking deal. And you know that Drew wants to play. He's getting towards that part of his career. He has a huge contract, though. That could be a problem as far as salary cap and all those type of things. But this New England Patriot team now is Tom Brady's team.
A lot of talk about the possibility of Bledsoe winding up in Washington with Steve Spurrier. From the 36-yard line, this is Holmes to the short side of the field, seeking the first down behind a Kevin Mawai block close to it. And for the Patriots, of course, our congratulations to Robert Kraft, one of the very finest owners ever in any sport. Much deserved championship for the Kraft family. And of course, next season, and clearly the Patriots will be back on Monday Night Football multiple times. I'm sure we'll take a gander at the brand new facility that the Patriots will move into next August.
And Dennis Miller received a game ball way back when, after the Hall of Fame game last year from Bob Kraft.
At the 23-yard line, Priest Holmes. Now Tom Clements is calling in the plays for the AFC, the Pittsburgh quarterbacks coach. Here he is.
Flat out, 580, screen left.
Clements got a lot of credit for the outstanding success enjoyed this year by Cordell Stewart, working very closely with him, with offensive coordinator Mike Mularkey, and of course under Bill Cowher, the Steelers got all the way to the AFC Championship game, where they were favored and upset by New England.
And I believe this play is going to be a screen pass here to Priest Holmes off the left side.
2nd and 8. And there is Holmes. Pass a little bit high, but he reaches for it. And then takes the ball inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Let's get Clements' next play call. Former Notre Dame quarterback Tom Clements.
One slot out, 77 double option.
Completion was good for 5 yards.
This is a pass play. A double option means that the inside receivers will have the ability to break to the either side. So keep your eye not only on the tailback Holmes, but on the slot receiver right here.
3rd down and 3. Well, option left, pass caught, and it is Ken Dilger making the catch, staying in bounds, getting into the end zone. Great job by Rich Gannon coming off Tim Brown, who was covered on his option route, finding his outlet receiver. But let's watch Brown here. Here he is here. He's going to come down and look to the inside. But good coverage by the NFC here will take this away. Gannon wheels right now to the outside, has the arm strength to get the ball behind LeVar Arrington, and Dilger walks into the end zone. Dilger from the Colts, 7th year, played his college ball at Illinois. First Pro Bowl, and the kick is good by Jason Elam. So already 41 points up on the board, 28 of them by the AFC.
We did great. We did great.
No, you're right. We did do great.
We're in really good shape.
Are those the guys who went in after us? Yeah. I wonder how they did. They've got Michelob Light.
I've been playing hoops and my shoulder keeps popping. You get that?
No. Nothing. You say you going to go up like that?
Yeah, layups.
There's your answer. Oh, no.
The great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special.
Do they bowl in Italy?
Do they bowl in Italy? It's the birthplace of bocce ball, but you're missing the point of the story. A mom-and-pop bowling ball bag manufacturer in Jersey. Jersey is swamped with worldwide demand after their product is featured in an Italian fashion magazine. Why are you laughing?
I was thinking of bocce shirts.
Let it go. So they ship via FedEx International Services. With time-definite express delivery to over 210 countries, the bags hit the markets. The classic macroeconomic love story. Supply meets demand.
I like a nice love story.
One of the coolest things about Rocky was how he did his training. Untraditional methods. Where he'd be pounding on pot roast, drinking raw egg smoothies, chasing a chicken. All that crazy stuff to make himself tougher. That'd be fit for sequels. Ford F-150. Built to last and come in first. Built Ford tough.
Sam Adams of the Baltimore Ravens, working to help the United Way build stronger communities. December 7th, 1941. Here is the Arizona Memorial, Pearl Harbor. You can see it from the south end, or the south side of Aloha Stadium, about 3/4 of a mile away.
USA! NFL! ABC! USA! NFL! ABC! USA! NFL!
Did you leave those tickets?
Guys work for us.
10-yard line. Steve Smith's had a busy day running back kicks. And the Carolina Panther brings it back out to the 33-yard line.
Steve Smith is going to be exhausted when this game's over.
So's the scoreboard operator. The over-under was 44.5. I think you're safe. 41 points already. And Jeff Garcia comes into the game. So Kurt Warner was 6 out of 14 for 63 yards. Chances are he's done for the day. Now Garcia, and before the day is done, we'll also see Donovan McNabb of Philadelphia, who was brought over when Brett Favre begged off because of a back injury. And this is Garcia throwing on first down and hitting Keyshawn Johnson to the 38-yard line. Jeff Garcia very much a sudden star in his own right, the great legacy of Montana and Young, and of course before that people like Y.A. Tittle and Frankie Albert, and then here comes this guy out of nowhere, and he's put his name into the 49er record book.
And a local boy from Gilroy, California, just down by San Jose. Garcia not only putting his name in the record book, but bettering some of the records set by Montana and Young.
Sure. Another guy you have to throw in there, of course, John Brody, the great 49er quarterback of the past. 2nd down and 5 from the 38-yard line. And Garcia going deep, and the flag is thrown as Torrey Holt was being held by Deltha O'Neill.
Torrey Holt pushed Torrey Holt. Deltha O'Neill pushed Torrey Holt out of bounds. And that would be illegal contact.
Cordell Stewart is loosening up with Brady. We're going to see Cordell next, and then Brady in the second half. All right, let's check in with ED. Eric?
Al, I'm here with Jesse Armstead, 5-time Pro Bowler of the Giants. Jesse, tell me, why did the Giants leave you unprotected?
I can't understand that myself. I'm just out here right now, and I get a lot of more team opportunity to get ready for me.
If not taken back by the Giants, do you see yourself a Houston Texan next year?
I don't know. Whoever wants me, I'm ready to play ball for you.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right.
Thank you, Al.
All right, thank you, Eric. Amon Green losing two. You know, one of the reasons the Giants would leave somebody like an Armstead unprotected, same reason other teams would leave a guy who would go to a Pro Bowl unprotected. You're thinking about numbers. It's all about the salary cap.
Yeah, that's right. It's at those numbers with the decimal points, and you got to fit under. You know, every year the salary cap goes up, but so do salaries, and you can't blame the players for trying to cash in when they have great years, going to Pro Bowls and wanting bigger salaries.
It's a cat and mouse game too, because the teams, when they compile those lists, as Garcia Sets up the screen, and this is caught by Amon. It's taken down at the 25-yard line, but you're taking a gamble. Some teams will put a guy out there and say, you know what, I'll bet you they don't take him, and we'll get him back. But it's a gamble you have to take.
Absolutely. Little Green in real time here as he goes down into the secondary and picks up a first down for the NFC. 24 years old is Amon Green, and really the force in that Packer running attack now.
From the 25 on first down and 10. Garcia stepping up, and then he loses the ball at the 23-yard line, and he turns it over as Al Wilson, the linebacker from the Denver Broncos, recovers the fumble.
Now, was he throwing the ball or was he trying to tuck it away? We do not have a challenge here today. Al Wilson got the recovery. John Abraham the hit.
I think
he fumbled.
Yep, already past the line of scrimmage. Another turnover.
Need a lift?
For Thunderbird, let the stories begin.
Right now, you can get a DirecTV system at Blockbuster absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free. Not only that, we'll also give you free professional installation. Plus, only Blockbuster will give you an entire year of free movie and game rentals. It's a free DirecTV system. It's free professional installation. It's free rentals for a year. It's the deal you don't want to miss. Get a free DirecTV system only at Blockbuster. Just stop by your local participating store.
This race brought to you by Visa, the official card of the NFL, and the only card accepted at the Olympic Games. And the Visa Triple Crown. Almost forgot. We're also the official card of NASCAR. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Valentine's Wednesday, Drew falls in love with a cop, but it's a fatal attraction.
Hey! You really want to shoot me?
A new Drew, Valentine's Wednesday on ABC.
This season, Monday Night Football fans played the primetime player game on our interactive complement enhanced TV, and over 1 million people competed for a chance to stand on the sidelines and call a play here at the Pro Bowl game. It was narrowed down to 2 winners, one for the AFC, the other for the NFC, and here with the first winner is Melissa.
All right, Al, I'm joined by Bill Cowher and Scott Mansfield from Roseville, Michigan. What's the play you want to call?
The 77 double go.
And why'd you pick that play?
Well, of all the plays that Coach Cowher gave me a look at, I feel like that one had the best opportunity for success.
All right. We'll see how it goes.
Well, we'll see now. I gave you some good plays now, Scott. I'm telling you.
That was the best one.
That's the best one. We had a basic run call, but Scott's going for the jugular here, okay?
We'll see what happens.
All right, it's all on the line, Scott.
77 double go. I like the name of it.
And it's more than double go. You're going to have all 4 receivers going deep. My kind of play.
Guy thinks it's like photoelectric football. Here's Cordell Stewart. So here comes 77 double go. Called by Scott. Sent in by Cowher. And Stewart throws, and that's incomplete. So everybody, all 4 guys going deep, incomplete. Les?
All right, so I guess you don't want to add him to your staff.
I'll see you in the second half. We're going to talk at halftime. That play wasn't any good.
Thanks, Coach.
You know, you win a contest, and you're not going to buck it up in there hard, all right? You know, you're going to go 77 double go.
Yeah, you know, what the heck? That's what the people want to see. It's your chance for fame and glory.
Right.
Don't buck it up in there hard stuff. Throw the bomb.
Second down and 10. The other winner, of course, will call a play later for Andy Reid. I don't think it's going to be a quarterback sneak. The This is a quarterback draw. Stewart to the 31. So Cordell Stewart really coming into his own, emerging this year, 7th year, the one-time slash, and he was named a slash when he was a quarterback and a wide receiver and a running back, and they weren't sure what he would eventually become, but he became a Pro Bowl quarterback this season.
Mike Mularkey, offensive coordinator for the Steelers, did a great job of molding an offense around the many talents of Cordell Stewart. And again, we talked about that maturity thing too. Cordell's seen the bottom, and he has bounced back and matured and had an outstanding season.
Corey Dillon of the Bengals is the running back. And on 3rd and 4, the pass is a little too high, intended for Troy Brown of the Patriots. So Stewart, 3 and out, and it's 4th and 4.
Great to see Troy Brown in this ball game. This ball thrown a little bit too high by Cordell, but a little trip rather by Troy might have led to his inability to get up and make that catch as well.
Now Shane Leckler to punt. Steve Smith back to receive for the Panthers. Like I said, Steve was the only Panther in the game before there's one other. It's Todd Sauerbrunn. So Carolina, despite winning only 1 game this season, sending 2 special teams guys. And this is a beauty that the trade winds take into the end zone. Speaking of the trade winds, with 8.5 to go in the half. Diamond Head, just past Waikiki Beach on a beautiful Saturday afternoon.
Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Good.
How do you build America's largest wireless network?
Can you hear me now? Good.
By never being satisfied.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Sports Arena. Behold, the irresistible Pizzone. The new Pizzone from Pizza Hut. The pizza you eat like a sandwich. Give me a cheese! That's just the first half. We got the whole second half to go. See, that's what we call a whole lot of cheese. It's mozzarella cheese and tantalizing toppings, sandwich, calzone style. $5.99 or 2 for $10.99. See, that's where most of the succulence is happening in the cheek. Is this a Pizzone party or what? The Pizzone revolution. Join us.
ABC Sports goes strong to the hoop. Highly ranked Oklahoma State battles Fresno State, and Big East rivals meet when Miami faces Boston College tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern.
Well, welcome back. I am here with the NFC Enhanced TV winner, Andrew Tuttle from Raleigh, North Carolina, and Coach Reed. What play do you have for him?
The 2-jet U drive.
Why'd you pick that play?
It's a passing play, try to get the ball up the field, start a drive so we can come back in this game, win it for the NFC.
All right.
Good job, Andrew. You're set, man. We'll see how it works.
We will.
All right. So you got in the play call.
NFC starts at its own 20-yard line.
And let's see how Garcia implements this. 8.5 to go. NFC trailing by 15. Straight drop. Pass underneath at the 26-yard line. And that's Byron Chamberlain, gain of 8. Not bad. Melissa?
Well, you may want to put him on your payroll.
No, I'll tell you, that was pretty good. Hey, it takes an Andrew to be able to do that.
Oh, exactly. You guys have something in common.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, any coach will take an 8-yard gain on first down.
Absolutely, especially coming off your own 20-yard line. Andy Tuttle. Good job.
2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line. Look out. And in the grass, got it away, but no penalty. Javon Curse nearly had a sack.
And that's that rule where the quarterback can throw the ball away at any time. Even though he's under great pressure, Garcia does exactly that. Devon Kearse getting used to getting close to the quarterback. A lot of pressures this year, not as many sacks, but still a real force on that defensive line.
3rd down and 2 from the 28-yard line. Halfway through the second quarter, and the pass is complete to Keyshawn Johnson of the Tampa Bay Bucks up to the 33-yard line, and a 1st down. Well, we're going to talk to some of the Bucks as the afternoon progresses. That is a fascinating story, what's going on in Tampa Bay. The firing of Tony Dungy. Apparently Bill Parcells was going to take the job, then decided not to take the job. Then all that's going on with the possibility of John Gruden escaping Oakland and winding up down there. Right now, nobody seems to know anything about the Bucs situation, including the Bucs who were at the game.
Or the Raiders who were at the game.
And any rumor flies. I saw John Lynch before the game, and I said, John, have you heard the latest? He says, what? I said, Buddy Ryan. He says, no. I said, I'm just making it up, you know.
Ball start number 65, offense, 5 yards, will be 1st down.
They get Ron Stone for jumping off sides, but you know the rumors, it's hard to figure out what is exactly the truth and what is not. But the one thing is, it does affect John Lynch, Keyshawn Johnson, and the rest of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I talked to Rich Gannon before the game, and he says he doesn't know what's going on in Oakland.
Eric's going to talk to John Lynch in just a moment on 1st down and 15. And this is Green up to the 35-yard line. All right, E.D., what can you find out here?
Well, I'm here with John Lynch of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. John, now tell me, what's going on with the hiring of a new head coach down in Tampa?
You want to coach?
I don't think you want me as a coach.
But it's been a soap opera over here. You know, it looked like, you know, obviously the Parcells situation in the beginning, and then, you know, everything we were hearing was that Marvin Lewis was going to be the guy, and something happened along the lines, and it's a little unsettling right now, to be honest. And you know, would like to be here relaxing, but you know, a lot of people's livelihoods are at stake, so hopefully we'll get that situation taken care of.
How frustrating is it, though?
It's frustrating. You know, you feel like you got it so close to being right there, and now all of a sudden, you know, it's just everything's up in arms, and you know, you got confidence. The good thing is that the Glazer families, I think their motivation is right in doing it to try to win a championship, and whether you agree with everything that they're doing, that's what they're doing it for.
Okay. Thanks, John.
Thanks,
all right. Al.
All right, thank you, Eric. And Marvin Lewis deal appeared to have been done a couple of days ago. Now the latest is that Marvin Lewis is, I believe, going to meet with the Washington Redskins about the possibility of becoming the defensive coordinator there under new coach Steve Spurrier.
And Tampa's general manager Richie McKay, you got to be wondering about his future.
3rd and 3, and this is Owens, and he does not make the catch. It's incomplete.
Impossible errant pass by Jeff Garcia there to Terrell Owens.
Well, Tony Dungy's career as the coach of the Bucs is over. Of course, Tony now with Indianapolis, but in the Dungy era, over those 7 seasons, 14 different players were selected to the Pro Bowl, and in the history of the franchise, in the 20 years prior to that, as you can see, a total of 9 players went to the Pro Bowl. So Tony's work very much speaks for itself, what he did to resurrect that franchise. Punt here by Todd Sauerbrunn, rolls dead at about the 16-yard line.
6.
And we have 5:10 to go in the first half. 15-point lead for the American Conference.
Right now, get out there and get in a new Ford, because your local Ford store is with great deals at America's #1 choice. Now take up to $2,500 cash back or 0% financing on select Fords. That's $2,500 cash back or 0%. The right deal, the right time, right now. Because we're with the best deals at America's #1 choice.
Most financial companies give their employees handbooks, company manuals, lists of rules and regulations. At Charles Schwab,
we don't pay our employees sales commissions. We don't underwrite stocks. We only offer objective advice.
We just give them a philosophy. Charles Schwab, Expert advice that's objective, uncomplicated, and not driven by commission. To learn more about our philosophy, call 1-800-3-SCHWAB today.
You should read this. One of the U.S. bobsledders pulled a muscle. Looks like they'll need a sub.
I must go.
Any excuse is a good excuse to get to McDonald's for the all-new chicken breast Parmesan sandwich. Juicy, all-white meat chicken smothered with tangy marinara sauce, topped with melting mozzarella. Getting hungry? Hurry in.
So where's the medal?
The irresistible new chicken breast Parmesan sandwich, now on McDonald's new tastes menu. McDonald's, a worldwide Olympic partner.
If you're a double agent taken hostage, what's more important?
They've got Sydney.
Your cover or your life? A new Alias, ABC Sunday, 9, 8 Central.
Well, from Hawaii tomorrow to Indianapolis on ABC Sports for continuing coverage of the EA Sports Supercross Series presented by Speed Stick Motorcycle Racing tomorrow right here on the American Broadcasting Company. Al Michaels with Dan Fouts, Eric Dickerson, Melissa Stark. Our man Denny is back in California. We'll check in with Dendu at the half as the AFC has the ball here from the 16-yard line, and it's a gain of 1 for Larry Centers. Let's check in with Melissa.
Well, 9 of Dave Casper's Raider teammates from the 70s and 80s have already been inducted into the Hall of Fame. What does this honor mean to you to finally get in?
Well, I guess I'm just grateful that people thought good things about what I did when I played, and they thought enough to elect me, and I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
I know it's only been a few days. The question of the day that we're asking everybody, the one person, if you had to name one person who's most responsible for you getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, who would that be?
Well, it might be my mom, because when I first started football when I was 10 years old, I went and watched a Pee Wee football practice, and I didn't think she wanted me to play, so I didn't try, and I came home. She said, "What were you doing?" I said, "I was watching a bunch of kids play football." She says, "Why didn't you go out?" I said, "Can I?" And she said, "Yeah." She says, "You go back out tomorrow and try that." And that was back in 1960 or so, and I kept playing football ever since.
Great mom you have. Well, congratulations. We'll see you in Canton.
Thank you.
Back to you, Al.
Okay, Melissa, and some highlights, and of course, you remember the all-time Dave Casper highlight all too well, Dan, don't you?
Unfortunately, the Holy Roller, when just using his head, advanced the ball from about the 3-4 yard line into the end zone, fell on it for a winning touchdown against some team from San Diego.
And precipitated a rules change the following year. Unabated to the quarterback was, I believe, Hugh Douglas, unless we have a flag.
He might have been drawn offside, though, Al, by Jonathan Ogden there.
Well, I'm getting the call from the head linesman, Ernie France, who tells Ron the following.
Offside, number 53, defense, unabated to the quarterback, 5 yards, repeat third down.
He was trying to get himself a sack, so he jumps off sides, but check him out. Look how he's looking in here. That's where the quarterback is. Watch how quick his start is. Yeah, he jumps before Ogden into the neutral zone.
Hugh Douglas started his career with the Jets, now with the Eagles. Great year under Andy Reid, all the way to the championship game in the NFC as the catch is made by Jermaine Lewis. And that is why you have Reid and Cowher here. The coaches for the Pro Bowl are the coaches of the teams that lose in the conference championship games.
Talking to Bill Cowher, third time he is coaching in this game, and yesterday he said this 3 times too many.
Yeah.
It's a great reward, but a terrible disappointment.
Well, the one year he went to the Super Bowl, he beat Indianapolis. The play that ended the game was a near catch that would have sent the Colts to the Super Bowl. He was able to get to the Super Bowl, was Cowher, but then there was also the San Diego game after the '94 season when Dennis Gibson made the defensive play to keep Cowher from going to the Super Bowl and send Bill to Honolulu once again.
I'm not sure Cowher would have liked to have gone to Miami to play that 49er team. I know the Chargers might have had second thoughts. What a great football team. Steve Young and Ricky Waters, Jerry Rice. You can just see him going right down the middle of the Charger defense for touchdown after touchdown.
Right, Rice scoring a little over a minute into the game, and before that day was done, Steve Young had established the Super Bowl record with 6 touchdown passes. 49-26 was the final. 2nd and 9 from the 28-yard line. fake toss by Stewart, and then Cordell gets rid of it, and that's a case of, in this game, you still can't ground it under that circumstance with Robert Porcher coming in, and that's intentional grounding.
But what's the difference between that and what Jeff Garcia did on a previous set of downs?
I
that
think
should not be intentional grounding.
And that's why Cordell Stewart wants a clarification.
So grounding, the quarterback threw the ball directly into the ground, regardless of in that area. It's a loss of down.
The difference is if you throw it back toward the line of scrimmage, it's not intentional grounding, and Ron Blum is contending he just threw it into the ground.
Well, he did, but it looks a lot like what Jeff Garcia did as well. Just trying to get rid of that time bomb before it goes off in his hand.
Takes the ball back to the
and the penalty moves the ball back to the 14-yard line.
See, defenses are starting to settle in now. They're getting their rhythm here, Al.
3rd down and 23. Yeah, we've had no scoring for about 6 minutes. Little flip to Larry Centers, and the longtime Cardinal, now a member of the Buffalo Bills, 12th year in the league, playing in his 3rd Pro Bowl, takes it up to the 20-yard line.
Larry Centers, the all-time receiving leader from the running back position. Very valuable player for a number of teams.
Timeout on the field right now, and we can tell you that tomorrow on ABC Sports Special on the men who made the NFL season, Melissa Stark talking with Tom Brady, Garrison Hurst, Michael Strahan, Donovan McNabb, Cordell Stewart. You'll see that tomorrow. It's coming your way at 1:30 Eastern and at 3 o'clock on the Pacific Coast here on ABC. Ah, there he is, Dan Fouts, 1983.
And my former teammate, John Jefferson, was with the Green Bay Packers. We shared the co-MVP award, but no car. He's got a trophy, no car.
No car? Well, Rich Gannon was the MVP last year. Could be again this year. Who knows?
Got a good shot at it.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for 137. Line drive kick, fielded at the 28-yard line by Smith. And Steve Smith brings it back to the 50 off the Leckler punt. And the clock stops at 2:28 remaining in the half. The Pro Bowl game from Honolulu is being brought to you by Michelob. The great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special. FedEx, Ground, International, Online, or Express. Don't worry, there's FedEx for that. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be. And Ford, America's #1 choice for 15 straight years. Aloha Stadium. It was built in the early 70s. It's hosted the Pro Bowl since 1980. The Pro Bowl was in Los Angeles for a number of seasons. Then they moved the game around. It was in Tampa one year. It was in Kansas City one year, and found a permanent home here in 1980. And it's been a great thing because the players love to come over. Garcia throws incomplete.
That's a real win-win situation for the league and for Hawaii to host this game.
Ineligible man downfield is the initial call.
Number 62 offense was illegally downfield. The penalties declined. 2nd down.
Now, was that the guy that was illegally downfield?
Might have been.
Who's going to tell him?
Gene Washington will fine him $5,000.
He looked like he'd been into John Randall's face paint can, didn't he?
Garrison Hurst in the game at running back. 2nd down and 10 at the 48-yard line. And Garcia gets taken down, and that's Gary Walker of the Jacksonville, of the Titans. Gary Walker, we mentioned before, is a guy who was left exposed used to be with the Titans, now playing with the Jaguars, exposed in the draft, and of all the guys likely to wind up with the Houston Texans, he'd be the most likely.
And the amazing thing about this game, although they really bend these rules to help the offense, is sacks happen a lot, and so do interceptions in these games. Walker just overpowers. It's like Ray Brown there to pick up that sack on Jeff Garcia. Now Ray Brown's got to tell his quarterback, "Yeah, I'm sorry, man."
Talking about offensive shows here, but look at that. More interceptions than touchdown passes in the AFC, NFC Pro Bowls, and 199 sacks coming into today's game.
And I'm proud to say I threw a number of those interceptions myself.
And probably took a couple of sacks.
Absolutely.
Well, Gary Walker getting credit for that sack. Gary started his career with the Oilers and went with the franchise to Tennessee. Jacksonville picked him up a couple of years ago. And he's created a 3rd down and 20 at the 42-yard line. And Garcia throws, caught at the 50-yard line. Catch made by Byron Chamberlain, and he gets upended at the 43. Chamberlain in his first Pro Bowl went to Minnesota from Denver. 2-minute warning. AFC up by 28-13.
On March 1st, one young, normal, healthy American male will attempt the unthinkable.
No sex for Lent, for 40 days.
You're the guy who can't finish a sandwich. You think you can go 40 days?
You won't last a week. There's just one problem.
My name's Erica.
She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. We are totally connecting, and it's not a sexual thing.
Josh Hartnett.
Good night.
Good night.
40 days and 40 nights.
I somehow don't think Mr. Butterworth would appreciate that.
Rated R. In theaters everywhere Friday, March 1st.
It's hard to lose your best friend, especially when it's your son. I pry into his life. He says, I'll never treat my son like this. And I think, if you love him, you will.
You ready? You want this? Go get it! It's got to be the dog chow.
Dog Chow is packed with everything your dog needs to build and rejuvenate strong muscles so he can keep on amazing you day after day. Purina Dog Chow brand.
Let me tell you how it will be. There's one for you, 1940.
It's estimated Americans overpaid $311 million in taxes. That was $610 for each taxpayer. That $610 could have been yours. Now H&R Block will double-check last year's tax return free. We can refile past returns. You could get more money back.
Sunday, a brutal attack could scar this lawyer for life.
We just want to make sure that you're okay.
Leave me alone!
A new practice, ABC Sunday, 10/9 Central.
Ah, there's our man, Dendu, back in Southern California.
Can you turn that off? Because it's
fresh
delayed.
off Dennis Miller Live last night on HBO. We're going to talk to Denny. We're going to ask Denny what he thought of the first half, assuming he's watched the first half.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
On the halftime show. There it is, Denny, and Sugar Ray will be on hand. Sugar Ray performing here. It's 4th down and 6. And the kick goes into the end zone. And they'll take it at the 20. All right, Denny, from my orange juice can and string to yours, you can hear me, right? Are you watching the first half? Have you watched it? Speak to me.
Yeah, I have watched the first half, and I have a good idea how to make the Pro Bowl work better. Don't stop the clock after each incompletion. I mean, this is crazy. I was able to read James Michener's Hawaii during the first half.
And we still have the second half to come. So maybe you can get Bernard Goldberg's book and read that again.
I like your shirt, Dendu. You got to look at the T-shirt underneath, though.
Well, Bouncy, you're not supposed to notice that.
That was in the Kmart closeout sale. From the 20-yard line on first down, here's Corey Dillon for a gain of 5. So we'll check in with our man at the half, Sugar Ray, performing here at Aloha Stadium, and the NFC takes a timeout here as they attempt to get the ball back and try to close the gap. Actually, with the brisk wind today, normally if the wind wasn't blowing at a Pro Bowl, we've seen some very hot afternoons, but it's very pleasant today.
Yeah, yesterday it rained the entire day here on Oahu, and forecast for showers today, but it's been great that it's held up. And I think it's contributed to the pace of this game and the fact that players look fresh, running around. We've had a cloud cover most of the day, so this artificial surface has not been able to bake the players as it has done so many times in the past.
Michael Strahan settling in along the defensive front here on 2nd down and 5 from the 25-yard line. Stewart out of the shotgun. Stepping up, throwing, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Marvin Harrison. Let's check in with ED again, Eric.
All right, I'm here with Keyshawn Johnson of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Keyshawn, I talked to John Lynch about the Bucs hiring a new head coach. He gave me a good answer, but I know I can always depend on you. What's going on? What's going on?
I have no idea. I'm just like y'all. I'm trying to figure it out, too.
Are you disappointed you don't have a coach yet?
No, I have a coach. My coach is Andy Reid.
If you could get Gruden, how do you feel about that deal?
They just got to get the best guy available, and right now he's not available, so we'll see what happens. I'm giving you all those.
You give me all that?
That's right. I'm going to give it to you.
All right. Thanks, Keyshawn. Al?
All right. Thank you, Eric. On 3rd down and 5 now, it is Stewart handing the ball off to Larry Centers. And Centers takes it up to the 27-yard line. That's shy of the 1st down, and they'll stop the clock here with the NFC and get the ball back.
Keyshawn has a new book coming out. Just give me a damn coach.
Mic'd up, among others, Jeff Garcia in the 1st half. Here's a listen.
You came in too easy, Walker. Hey, you came in too easy. We got to give you a check a little bit. Yeah, I was throwing it.
No, not when you run fast.
What did Blum tell him? You were past the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
Here's Leckler almost getting the punt block, but he gets it up into the jet stream, and it's a monster kick that bounces at the 2-yard line and goes through the end zone. The line of scrimmage was the 27, so it's a 73-yard kick. I would say the ball left his foot, Dan, at about maybe the 17-yard line, the 18-yard line. That's an 80-yard punt in the air.
And that's to go along with a 70-yarder just moments ago. The trade winds are blowing between 20 and 30 miles an hour, and he knows exactly what to do with it. Get it up, and why didn't LeVar Arrington block that punt? He could have tackled Leckler before he kicked it.
So that kick left his foot at the 17-yard line and landed on the fly at the 2-yard line. So that punt was 81 yards in the wind, in the air.
That's their second charge, timeout, the 32nd timeout.
Timeout AFC. Check in with Melissa.
Well, Rich Gannon led the Raiders to the AFC West Division title. Now, how nervous have you been all week with all the rumors about your head coach, John Gruden, going to the Buccaneers?
Well, it's a little disappointing, but hopefully it'll all work out for the Raiders. And we want John back, and he's been a big part of our success. And hopefully it all gets taken care of this week.
I know you've talked to John. What's he said?
I'm the coach of the Raiders, and he plans on coaching us next year. And, we're trying to start our preparation for this upcoming season, and I'm sure he's doing the same.
All right, we shall see. Now, quick question about that loss to the Patriots. I mean, how tough was that given the way you guys played that game?
It was disappointing. We felt like we had chances in the game to win the football game, and obviously the play of the game was certainly a factor, but we felt like even before that we had chances, and we just didn't get it done. But you got to tip your hat to them. They had a great year, and they got hot at the right time.
Thanks, Rich.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. As Terrell Owens makes the catch here up to the 42-yard line of the NFC, going without a huddle. 1st and 10, 48 seconds to play in the half. Garcia finds time, throws, and the pass is incomplete to Torrey Holt. Interesting how players have to do it. They work the edges. They not necessarily completely skirt the issue, but with a situation like the Gruden situation, with so many rumors afloat, with so many things going on, just to listen to Keyshawn talking about it and Rich Gannon talking about it, you know, they're working the circumference here.
Yeah, and you know, you can feel that they just want it over with. They just want an answer. Players are players, coaches are coaches. You hear that all the time. Well, players are already thinking about next year and what moves the teams are going to make. But you can't make any move unless you have a head coach who's steering the ship. And both these ships are in turmoil now. I mean, the Raiders situation.
Some sort of illegal defense on the AFC. It's 15 yards. It's a first down.
Some sort.
Well, Blum says it because that word comes down from upstairs. So the NFL observer, Larry Peccatello, is upstairs. If he spots something, he then calls down to the umpire. So whatever it was, I don't know, maybe it was lost in the transmission, but it was some sort of illegal defense. Larry on the right making the calls from upstairs. He's made a couple of them today. 1st and 10 now from the 44-yard line as Garcia throws, and that's incomplete. 36 ticks remaining.
Boy, and Garcia got dusted by Gary Walker after he let that one go. This is not always the greatest situation for quarterbacks in the Pro Bowl, because most of the time offensive linemen are chosen because they block for 1,000-yard rushers. They're not necessarily the best pass blockers in the league. They're normally the best run blockers. But on the defensive side, you got defensive linemen who are great pass rushers. They got the big numbers in sacks, so it's a little bit skewed toward the defense there.
2nd and 10. Garcia stepping up, hit as he throws, lofts it into the wind, and the wind knocks it down, intended for Terrell Owens. Wind coming from the Eva direction. See, Eva's to the left, Diamond Head to the right. You know, we're sitting on the Mackay side of the stadium.
Absolutely.
Seaside.
Yes.
Across the way, the mountain side.
The best seat in the house.
On the Mackay 50.
I'd say this wind is about a 3 clubber.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Third and 10. Garcia throws, and that's incomplete. Certainly a 3 clubber over at Waialae, where they whacked that P around at the Sony Open about a month ago.
It's still in great shape, isn't it?
You bet. So it's 4th down and 10 now for the NFC. Andy Reid, one time on the Green Bay staff under Mike Holmgren. Boy, hasn't Mike spawned a whole generation of good young coaches, much as Bill Walsh did in the 80s. Garcia throws, and that is Keyshawn Johnson making the catch at the 31-yard line.
Keyshawn Johnson beating Ty Law, a couple of co-MVPs back in '99 of this game. Deep out route. Keyshawn knows he's got to get deep down the field to pick up enough to get that first down, and Ty not quick enough to make the break on the ball, but timing there between Keyshawn Johnson and Jeff Garcia was perfect.
So 17 seconds, the NFC pretty much at the moment in field goal range, albeit a long field goal into the wind for Akers, looking for 7. And that pass is incomplete, intended for Owens, and only 12 seconds now remain in the opening half.
This is surprising. You think with 12 seconds that the NFC would have time to get Akers just a little bit closer. And Andy Reid sends out his kicker.
Toyota halftime show coming up, and they do send for a 49-yard field goal attempt Akers into the game. Todd Sauerbrunn will hold it. And Akers into the wind. The kick is good. Wow. When it's breezy, swing easy.
Boy, he did, and he drilled it. Made it by 10 yards.
And that makes it 28-16.
He's got a career long of 53 yards. Does David Akers. That is a very easy swing. Beautiful.
And let's check in with Melissa Stark.
Well, Al, Shannon Sharp broke the record for all-time receptions by a tight end this year. You are the leader, but the big question for you, there's been a lot of speculation. Will you be back next year?
Well, right now, I'm kind of leaning towards coming back. I've come out here and been around the guys, you know, and I realize how much I still truly love the game, and I love playing. I love getting up, coming to work. Hopefully everything works out in Baltimore, but if it doesn't, it's nice to know you have options and can go somewhere else to play, because I feel like I can still play.
Your quarterback, Elvis Gerback, was heavily criticized at times this year. Does he have the confidence, the respect of his teammates?
Really doesn't matter what I think. You know, Brian has made a decision, said, hey, that's my guy. And so, you know, I support Mike, support Brian, whatever he decides to do. He's earned the respect because he's won a Super Bowl there. So he's bought some time. But obviously, you know, Elvis has to play better in that position. He understands that, and we realize that.
Shannon, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Melissa, and this is the way the half will end, barring a penalty, with Jermaine Lewis running it back out to the 45-yard line. So a pretty freewheeling, very high-scoring first half for the Pro Bowl. And the teams are leaving the field. Apparently there is a flag, but Ron Blum has either picked it up or will ignore it.
Last play. That's the end of the first half.
End of the half.
Halftime score, AFC 28.
End of the half with the score, the AFC 28 and the NFC 16. Toyota halftime show coming up after this message from the NFL and a word from our ABC stations.
I'm a player in the National Football League. But that is not who I am. I play to win. But that's not all that drives me. My dream is to be a Super Bowl champion. But that is not my only goal. You see me as a player. I wish you would see me as a person as well. I'm a member of a community dedicated to making a difference. Dedicated to making a difference in people's lives. In people's lives. I'm a player in the National Football League. I'm a player in the National Football League.
Her friend Julia lives.
This is Chris Samuels of the Washington Redskins. Chris helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting childhood development programs. Chris is an emotional player.
They were no longer little girls, they were little women. Here's your book, Mr. Samuels.
That's not my book.
Yes, it is. It has your name in it.
Okay.
Emotional.
I wanna be a Bond girl. I wanna kiss, I wanna kill. I wanna be a Bond girl. I need to feel the thrill. I wanna be a Bond girl. Play all night, serve all day. That's the Bond girl way.
Robert Wagner hosts the Bond Girl Reunion when the Bond Picture Show presents Goldfinger, tonight 8/7 Central on ABC.
When the winter blast arrived January 31st, the 13 On Target weather team came out from behind the desk and took you and our weather tools out into the heart of the storm. It's been a busy day, and now all of our hard work has come to fruition.
And with the blowing of the snow, and again, it's a nightmare this morning.
Love being out on the weather chase because you can get right out to where the snow is, and we can also still get detailed weather information.
When severe winter weather strikes, there is a difference in how the story is told. Count on the 13 On Target weather team.
Come on, 7! Come on, come to Papa! It's 7 coming, 11! Whoa! Snake eyes! No snake eyes! 7, come on, 7! Come on, baby! You better butter me up, because I'm on the road! Yeah, 5 stay alive!
When you have to win to cover losses,
Third time's the charm!
you can't win. You're in over your head. Get help. Call 1-800-270-7117 before you lose it all.
Come on, 7.
News up front and on time. WZZM 13 News at 11.
The Toyota Halftime Show. Brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling. Here now, Al Michaels. Halftime here at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, the annual AFC-NFC Pro Bowl game, and the AFC on top, freewheeling, high-scoring first half, 28-16. Al Michaels and Dan Fouts. We are here. Our man Dennis Miller, because of the commitment to HBO. Dennis Miller live last night, and he's still back in Southern California. Dendu joining us from Santa Barbara. Hey, Dendu, you were at the Super Bowl last week, your first experience at the Super Bowl. What'd you think?
Well, the security was intense. By the way, how you doing? I miss you guys. Security was intense. I was frisked 4 times, and I hadn't even gotten out of the French Quarter at that point. Then we got to the stadium, and it was surrealistic inside. When they were down 3-0, I was sitting amidst a lot of Patriot fans, and you could see that they had that Buckner, Ben Dreif, Bucky Dent look on their face, like, here it comes. Then Law brings back the interception, and all of a sudden, they're up 17-3, and then they got this look on their face like they were John Nash in A Beautiful Mind, and they weren't sure if they were hallucinating this whole thing and when they were going to come back to reality. But it was a fun time. My son Holden and I had a great day.
Tremendous game, and there are a lot of plays you can look back and say they were the key play of the game. What was the one play that stood out for you?
Well, obviously, like everybody else, I think J.R. Redmond's play. I mean, the fact that he fought that hard to get out of bounds, that was no a fait accompli that the young man got out of bounds. He had to go with it. And I also thought Turbucky Jones there, leveling Torrey Holt, set a physical tone early on. You know, you can scheme all you want defensively, but at some point, you got to start rocking people, and Turbucky Jones let them know they might win the Vince Lombardi trophy, but their arms are going to be too sore to hold it above their head if they did.
Hey, Denny, I don't think a lot of people know, but you went back to Boston in the summer to help the Patriots kick off the season. You were the featured performer at their banquet, and you know what, of course, happened at the end of the season. So whose banquet are you going to work next year? You got to be a guy very much in demand.
Well, I just got a call from Marty Morenweg. I told him I couldn't come in, and that they were having dominoes. But I went back to do it for Bob and Myra Kraft, 2 of the nicest people in the league. And it was funny because I met Tom Brady that night. Kraft said, this kid's a comer. I said to Brady, what was it like to play for Paterno? He said, I went to Michigan. I said, what was it like to play for Schembechler? He said, I just went recently. I said, okay, good talking. I had no idea who the kid was. And then I remember Belichick came up to me right before the dinner, and he said, I'm going to send 2 rookies up on the stage with you. Matt Light, Richard Seymour. I want you to make fun of them. I want you to rip them a new one in front of everybody. And he was laughing. And I looked at Belichick, who I've always liked, but he kind of keeps it close to the vest. And I could see that it was a whole new Bill Belichick this year.
It's amazing because I know when you joined us last year, you know, you knew the coaches from the perception of the coach on television. Then you get to meet them, and I told you, guys are a lot different than you think they are, especially in a case like Bill Belichick, who you met the very first game you did was in Canton last year with Belichick.
Yeah, Belichick is very pithy when you're in the room with him. He's very funny. You can just see he doesn't care about all the frabba jabba. He just does not care about doing the press. He's not the most amiable guy with the press, but he's a defensive genius. He gets in a room and he breaks tapes down like it was the Zapruder film, and he's finally out from under the appreciable shadow of Bill Parcells. I mean, quite frankly, Belichick has been playing Sancho Panza for years to Parcells, and when you look at the records, Al, it's pretty amazing what Parcells' record is with Belichick. Won around 62% of his games. Then the 3 years he was without Belichick, he won around 44% of his games. He only had 1 playoff appearance to Glandahi, and that was losing to Belichick's Browns. So it's nice to see Belichick get out from under. It was a great week for him, not a good week for Parcells. As disciplined as Parcells is as a coach, it sometimes seems that in his own personal matters, he's very undisciplined. It would appear that Bill Parcells' ironic quandary is that he needs a Bill Parcells in his life to govern him.
Yeah, no longer is Belichick tuna helper. He's the Grand Ahi himself. Dendu, enjoy, my man. We'll see you when I get back to the mainland. Dennis Miller joining us from Santa Barbara. Aloha Nui Aloha. Sugar Ray coming up. He'll be performing from Aloha Stadium when we come back to Honolulu for the Pro Bowl.
Every morning there's a...
The gold standard turns platinum, the New York Times.
hands down the car of the year, the Detroit News.
The interior is near perfect. Business Week.
Hey, who you calling near perfect? The 2002 Camry.
I can listen.
I can cook.
Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help. You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Now, folks, the Toyota halftime show continues with this performance by Sugar Ray.
Let's go ahead and party!
Halftime at the Pro Bowl, 28-16 AFC.
He's got the disc. They're coming your way.
Excellent. Describe the vehicle.
They're driving, it's like a... it's there. It's a silverish, bluish... Oh, it's a bluish what?
Secret weapon? Escape pod? The new Toyota Matrix. It's something else.
The Toyota Halftime Show. Brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling. We'll be back after this from our ABC stations.
ABC Sunday. A hostile takeover has turned secret enemies to reluctant allies.
Can't believe you're saving SD6.
Now,
I want you to kill them all.
the only hope for their survival
They've got everyone, including Sydney.
means blowing CIA cover. Quentin Tarantino, A New Alias, followed by A New Practice. ABC Sunday, 9/8 Central.
I'm Matt Wright with a WZZM 13 halftime report. A lot of basketball this Saturday. Let's take a look at some of those games. Michigan Wolverines, led by Lavelle Blanchard's 18 points as they beat Penn State. Locally, Calvin College hosting Albion in front of a homecoming crowd, and the Knights lose in a heartbreaker to the Britons 65-64. Hope College entertaining Alma at the Civic Center, and the Flying Dutch beat the Scots 82-78. That's just some of today's sports. We'll have all your highlights plus the news and sports coming up at 11.
Hi, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Sure.
It's time for the Team Dodge sales event, where the entire bold and powerful Dodge lineup comes with our powertrain pledge. 7 years or 100,000 miles of engine and transmission protection that you don't get from Ford, GM, Honda, or Toyota. Plus, get your choice of a cash allowance of up to $2,500 or 0% financing. Great products, great protection, great values. Right now during the Team Dodge sales event.
This is a typical guardian of data on a typical day at Norlight Telecommunications. If you'll notice, in almost 8 hours of work, this guardian of data has yet to blink. Why? Because the guardians of data own Norlight. As employee owners, they take personal responsibility for the network and for their customers. And so they go on like this, guarding the data 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Shouldn't they be watching your data too? Norlight, the guardians of data.
With many manufacturers facing a tight economy, Oak Express has negotiated tremendous bargains for our Factory Direct special purchase. Now's the time to get incredible savings on Factory Direct real wood home office, home entertainment, and dining room furniture. And during our Factory Direct special purchase, take advantage of no interest for 18 months. Hurry in. We're stocked with savings for the Factory Direct special purchase in Grand Rapids, Battle Creek, and Portage.
A story of hope and coincidence, Sunday at 11.
Second half about to begin in Honolulu, with the AFC leading the NFC in the Pro Bowl game, 28-16, and let's check in with Melissa Starr.
Well, Al, this is the 12th straight year that the NFL has selected a Teacher of the Year. The 2001 winner, Jane Gregory from South Pontotoc High School in Mississippi. She was nominated by her former student, Wesley Walls, tight end of the Carolina Panthers. Now, Jane, what does this award mean to you?
This is the ultimate of success. I just hope I'm representing teachers everywhere.
Oh, you absolutely are. And your first time to Hawaii, it's great. Wesley, tell me, what is the biggest lesson that you learned from her?
Well, Mrs. Gregory touched so many people's lives in 43 years of teaching, and I'm just so particularly grateful for the way she touched to help me reach my potential in the classroom, and I just think it carried over to other areas of my life.
Absolutely. Well, that's terrific. Congratulations. We'll be back with the second half after this.
While Hawaii deserves its reputation as the gentlest place on earth, we also have plenty to stimulate the wild side of your nature. Call toll-free, and we'll send you a free book that describes the islands of Aloha in exhilarating detail. Whatever moves you, we guarantee you'll find it here. Does a paradise like this really exist on Earth? It does. And we have a book that brings it all to life. It's called Islands of Aloha. It's nonfiction, and it's one of a kind, just like Hawaii itself. To get a free copy, call toll-free.
halftime, 28-16. The AFC on top in the Pro Bowl game. The first quarter was the highest scoring quarter in Pro Bowl history. 44 points at the half, and Jason Elam will kick off for the AFC. Steve Smith of the Panthers back to receive for the NFC. Smith, the rookie from the University of Utah, bringing it back out to the 26-yard line as we take a look at the numbers for the first 30 minutes of play.
Now we've had 5 total touchdowns in the game. David Akers has kicked 3 field goals. But, you know, the NFC's got to do a little bit better job running the ball. Only 8 yards in that first half. Rich Gannon is well on his way to picking up another MVP trophy, completing 8 of 10 for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And let's see if the NFC can get something started rushing with Marshall Faulk in the backfield. Jeff Garcia of the 49ers is the quarterback. Kurt Warner played the first quarter, and now Garcia begins through the air, going to the outside, hitting the Arizona Cardinals' David Boston up at the 31-yard line. The Cardinals, of course, don't play very often on national telecasts or major regional games, so Boston pretty much of an unknown guy, but look at that size and the speed, and of course with Jake Plummer at the other end, he put up some big numbers this year.
Put on some weight in the offseason, primarily in his upper body. You can give him the strength to get away from corners, break through that bump and run, but he's got speed.
And a 16.3 yards per catch average, which is these days
1,598 yards receiving for David Boston. His selection obviously is well deserved, but this is that surprising speed for the Arizona Cardinals, and with Jake Plummer now, this guy, the two of them combined for that great Rose Bowl when Jake Plummer went in, put Arizona State ahead, then David Boston came back to catch the winning pass from Joe Germain. But now they're teammates and really productive for the Arizona Cardinals.
Dave's dad, of course, as they measure here, very close to a first down, and they do have it. David's father, Byron, an NFL official. In fact, he was involved. He was one of the guys that had to make the ruling in the Music City Miracle play when the Tennessee Titans knocked off the Buffalo Bills a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we got the Olympics, and you're still talking about miracles, aren't you?
It's that time. That was great. The U.S. hockey team from 1980.
Yeah.
Lighting the torch. As on first down, it's Marshall Faulk picking up a yard. Great line by Mike Eruzione, the captain of that team and the hero. Very funny guy. You know, through the years, Mike said, you know, he said, the great thing about it is when I get a little down, I'll put that tape in, I'll watch it. He said, and every time I shoot, the puck goes in.
Yeah, and we all believe in miracles, too. We just hope we get some bit of the same success this time around, don't we?
Yeah. Second down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Garcia fumbles, picks the ball back up on the run, and then just throws, and it's incomplete. And we check in with Eric Dickerson.
Here with Kurt Warner. Now, Kurt, in the Pro Bowl game, quarterbacks really don't run quarterback sneaks.
No, they
did
don't.
You want to run that?
I'm not supposed to get hit out here. It's supposed to be a nice little pocket in there, sit back there and make plays. But, hey, get a first down, get a first down. We got that big all-star in the backfield, and they're giving me the ball on a quarterback sneak. I don't know.
Now, the Rams got to the Super Bowl this year, didn't win it. What do they have to do to get back to the Super Bowl?
Consistency. I mean, I think that's the big thing. That it's tough to do it in this league, to do it consistently week in and week out. And we've got the talent, there's no question about that, and we're going to have the talent next year. But it's a matter of staying at that high level and staying consistent. And if we do that, there's no telling how long we can do this and how many times we can get back. But it's tough to do that week in and week out at this level.
Thanks, Kurt.
All right, thank you, Eric. Terrell Owens just made that catch, but he's a little bit short of the first down across the 45-yard line. And the NFC will send in the punting group to kick it away on 4th and 1.
Yeah, I would say the Rams have the talent to get back there. You really got to give Lovie Smith and that defense a credit. What a job they did turning around a horrible defense from a year ago to the 3rd best in the NFL and all the way to the Super Bowl.
Rams, I'm sure, will be the preseason choice of many to win the Super Bowl following next season. Fair catch called for and made at the 17-yard line by Jermaine Lewis after the sour bun punt. And a couple of the Rams going over what happened last week, 28-16 AFC.
What would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix?
Let's go, baby. We're on our way to Lime Rock, premier Grand Prix racetrack around here.
Where else would you take a Grand Prix except on a Grand Prix track?
Let me see how you handle, baby.
Did I tell you?
It's so much fun.
Get out of my way.
This could so be our job.
Wait a minute, just drive around the three of us?
Well, no.
So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix?
None of us have ever been to AC.
Dinner, tuxes? Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Elvis!
How do they see through the stockings?
How do they see through the stockings? They're sheer.
Right.
But you're missing the point of the story. The woman's car is commandeered, stranding her miles from the nearest FedEx location.
She's toast?
No. Directly across the street. Her salvation.
Directly across the street?
Technically, it was kitty corner, but stay with me. Is it a mirage?
I don't know.
Is it a miracle?
Yes.
No. It's one of thousands of FedEx Express drop boxes strategically located at post office locations coast to coast.
Keeping the engines of commerce
well lubed. Precisely.
Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Good.
How do you build America's largest wireless network?
Can you hear me now? Good.
By never being satisfied.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
ABC Sports goes strong to the hoop. Jason Capono leads highly ranked UCLA against Arizona State, or Louisville takes on Marquette next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern.
A little more access here in the Pro Bowl, of course. So our man Zach is down there with his camera right in the huddle.
Steady cam.
Steady cam in the AFC huddle. Our man Zach could play left guard, hold his own.
Yeah, and he knows when to get out of there, too. He's starting to get into his back pedal now.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line for Cordell Stewart and the AFC. We'll see Stewart in the 3rd quarter and then Tom Brady in the 4th as Curtis Martin takes the ball up to the 20-yard line. It's been a great year for Curtis Martin. Came into the league out of the University of Pittsburgh as a Patriot in '95, then went to the Jets, and there it is. He has more yardage than Emmitt Smith, Jerome Bettis, or anybody else since he came into the league.
64 career touchdowns on the ground, 8 more through the air, and all those yards and durability and reliability. That's Curtis Martin.
2nd and 7 from the 21-yard line. Stewart flings one into the NFC bench intended for his teammate Hines Ward. One Steeler to another, but not even close.
That ball might have hurt somebody.
Yeah.
On the NFC bench. That was a dart.
Well, there's a guy we're going to take a look at, I'm sure, on Monday night next year. The Bears have not been on Monday Night Football for a number of seasons, but off their great year, Brian Urlacher. Olin Kreutz also in the game for the Chicago Bears. We'll be taking a look at that team. Next year, of course, the Bears, because of the renovation at Soldier Field, will play their home games downstate in Champaign at the stadium that houses the University of Illinois team. Larry Centers makes the catch here. So the Bears, in effect, are playing 16 road games next year.
Very similar to the situation that the Tennessee Oilers found themselves in when they moved from Houston. Played their games in the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. About a 3-4 hour drive from Nashville. Well, that's what the Big Cat has to look forward to. You wonder if they'll fly or get on that bus and go down to Champaign.
I wonder.
I bet you James wants to fly.
Yes, he does. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. And on an end around, this is Hines Ward. And Barber slows him down, then Ward stays on his feet, and finally he gets finished off just shy of the 30-yard line by Jeremiah Trotter. Cordell Stewart entering the books this year. Only 2 players in the league with a 70-yard run, a 70-yard pass, and a 70-yard reception. And our Longtime booth mate, good pal Frank Gifford would be the other. Only Frank and Cordell Stewart are on that list.
Doesn't take long to take that role, huh?
Second and 10 now for the AFC from the 29-yard line. Little flip underneath to Troy Brown, and Brown up to the 40-yard line. First down.
Yeah, Cordell Stewart was a legitimate MVP and comeback player of the year candidate thanks to his offensive coordinator, Mike Malarkey. Stewart operated an offense that took advantage of his superior athletic skills and had enough fun doing so. He led the Steelers all the way to the AFC Championship game. We saw that 90-yard touchdown reception to Bobby Shaw there. But Stewart matured this year, showed the mental toughness, and then mixed in a little bit of fun. What a great year.
First and 10 from the 40-yard line. AFC up by 12 as Martin swings to the outside. And Curtis gets around the corner and is very close to a first down. They'll mark it at the 50-yard line. Lost the ball as he went out of bounds as we check in with Eric Dickerson.
Thanks, Al. I'm here with Brian Urlacher of the Chicago Bears. Brian, the Bears were 5-11 a year ago. This year they were 13-3. What was the big difference with the team this year?
I think I just started believing we could win. We got a few breaks early in the season. We won 6 games in a row right at the beginning. Guys got confident that we can win some games. We started playing better and better every week.
Now, the Bears have had a great tradition of middle linebackers. Dick Buckets, Mike Singletary. Now, Brian Urlacher, are you trying to follow that tradition?
I'd love to. I got a long way to go. I'm just starting. People always want to compare me to them, but I'm so young right now. I'm just trying to get better every week and trying to see where I can end up.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Al?
Real up-and-comer, Brian Urlacher. Bears securing a number 2 seed in the playoffs, but then could not hold off the Eagles when they came into Soldier Field. First and 10 at the 50-yard line. And Martin with a lot of room to roam, and Curtis for the first down. So the AFC pounding out the yardage on the ground here in the third period.
And they're having success on the left side behind big Jonathan Ogden. The one thing about all great running backs is they have the ability to slow the game down to their speed. The patience needed as Ogden kicks out, centers leads up, and down the field is Troy Brown. Another first down for the AFC.
Years since a Jet running back started in a Pro Bowl game. Since Freeman McNeil came out of UCLA. Halfback pass here by Martin, but a little too long for Hines Ward. Curtis has had a lot of success in his career on the halfback pass.
And Bill Cowher knows it only too well. The coach of the AFC saw Curtis throw a touchdown pass against the Steelers this year. That is a pretty good pocket. Look at that offensive line in front of him. But not enough air under the ball. Didn't throw it high enough in the air so that Hines could adjust to this pass. Champ Bailey beaten initially, but good recovery makeup time there for Champ to get back.
Second and 10 now at the 37. Play clock is ticking down to 0, so Stewart calls a timeout for the AFC.
Yo, 2 6-packs and a big bag of ice. And you look at the bite, but the brew tastes nice. Back to the stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge. I like cool beverage, I like cool beverage, I like cool beverage, I'm kinda thirsty. I like cool beverage, I like cool beverage,
You can slow down investing. You can stop investing entirely. But you can't stop daughters from falling in love.
Hi, Daddy.
Which is why your Morgan Stanley financial advisor will never let you lose sight of what you're investing for.
What would you do with the Pontiac Grand Am?
Oh, yeah!
We're going to drive as fast as we can to San Francisco.
We're doing big things at the Pontiac Grand Dam. Big things, baby.
Kickoff Park, next 3 exits. How do we get to kickoff? Woohoo! Vegas!
This is like living a dream, baby.
Yeah! Welcome to Vegas, baby. We on the strip, baby.
On the strip.
Oh, yeah!
Girls gone wild at the Bellagio.
Yes.
So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Am?
How you doing?
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Tomorrow you can check out an ABC Sports special, The Men Who Made the NFL Season, as Melissa Stark talks with Tom Brady, Garrison Hurst, Michael Strahan, Donovan McNabb, and Cordell Stewart. That's tomorrow on ABC Sports. Dan, that looks very inviting.
Yeah, it won't be long now. Keep that running game going, boys.
We were talking to Bill Cowher yesterday, who's coached in 3 of these now. He said the Pro Bowl, it's a game that sort of starts slowly. Then you have a couple of big plays, opens up a little bit. Then it gets competitive. And then it's so true. We watched it through the years, especially when you get down to the 4th quarter and it gets close. It's 2nd and 10 after the timeout. Stewart throws. And that's a catch made by Marvin Harrison. But we've seen it. All of a sudden, you know, everybody says, oh, it's just an exhibition game and they're playing street football. But as crazy as it sounds, in this era of multi-million-dollar contracts, that goofy $15,000 difference becomes big to these guys at the end of the game.
And now so many of these players bring family, and lots of family. And so the family all week are shopping, they're buying things, they're having a good time, they're taking advantage of all the islands have to offer, but that's expensive. And now these guys are thinking about, hey, you know, we're going to need that extra 15 when we get that hotel bill.
3rd down and 5 at the 32-yard line. Halfway through the 3rd period. Stewart. And that's caught, and breaking a tackle and picking up a first down is Hines Ward. One Steeler hits another to move the change to the 23-yard line.
Good timing between Stewart and Hines Ward, working on Champ Bailey. Missed tackle here for Champ. This is one of the most deceivingly strong receivers, tough guy receiver, Hines Ward. Best blocker in the NFL, but now getting recognition as a pass catcher.
From the 23 on first down. Stewart sending it back to Martin. Curtis cuts it back inside the 15, takes the ball to the 10-yard line, and that'll set up a first down and goal. Larry Centers, as he has so often through his 12-year career, throws a block that springs him.
Larry Centers, the receiving type of fullback, shows that he can get the job done, leading Martin around the corner. Going to find Champ Bailey, knock him out. I just love the way great running backs cut across the grain like Martin did there. Just seems that they have eyes on the side of their head sometimes to find where that open area is. There's the block by Centers.
Under 6 minutes to play in the 3rd. The AFC up by 12, trying to pad their advantage. And on 1st and goal, Cordell gets wrapped up by Hugh Douglas. And the AFC may be looking for a face mask infraction, but there's no flag.
The quickness we've seen already from Hugh Douglas is evident here as he gets inside and is going to beat the block of Curtis Martin. Well, that's a mismatch. If this were a regular season game, we'd call that bad game planning. We'll give Curtis the pass on that one.
His left hand on his mask as he was going down, but no call. 2nd down and goal at the 17-yard line. 5:20 to play in the 3rd. Stewart, quarterback draw. Cordell takes off, regains his balance, gets all the way down to the 3-yard line before Jeremiah Trotter stops him that short of the goal line.
This is why Cordell Stewart is such a valuable weapon, especially in the red zone. On the quarterback draw, makes a few miss and takes it all the way inside the 5.
So Cordell trying to guide them all the way down the field on a drive that began at the AFC 18-yard line. Now they are inside the 3. Third down and goal. No play.
Delay
a game. Yeah.
Delay game. American Football Conference, 5 yards. Would be third down.
You know, that's unusual because you have the Pittsburgh coaching staff over there calling the plays into Cordell. He's used to hearing the terminology, used to hearing a familiar voice, and yet not aware where the clocks are, the game clock. It's called for delay of game.
Ball back to the 8-yard line.
Third and goal now from the 8. His main man, Ward, goes wide to the left. He's got Marvin Harrison wide to the right. 2 wideouts are there, and instead they're going to keep it on the ground. They're going to let Curtis do it, and he won't, because that's Bryant Young making his presence felt. And the San Francisco 49er defensive tackle wraps him up. And so it's 4th down, and the field goal group comes in.
Interesting call by Tom Clements. Wonder if he thought it might have been 2nd down there.
The play was actually, it was Leroy Glover who made that last play. Young and Glover both wearing 97.
And having the similar colored helmet.
Absolutely.
And similar impact as ball players.
Now a 29-yard field goal attempt by Jason Elam is good. Is no good. No good. Wide to the left. So Elam a little chip shot. And after the AFC moves all the way down from the 18 to a 1st and goal and get inside the 3, they can't even cash in on an easy field goal. All for naught. The lead is still 12.
What would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix?
Let's go, baby. We're on our way to Lime Rock, premier Grand Prix racetrack around here.
Where else would you take a Grand Prix except on a Grand Prix track?
Let me see how you handle, baby.
Did I tell you?
It's so much fun.
Get out of my way.
This could so be our job.
Wait a minute, just drive around the 3 of us?
Well, no.
So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix?
None of us have ever been to AC.
Dinner, tuxes? Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Elvis!
Right now, you can get a DirecTV system at Blockbuster absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free. Not only that, we'll also give you free professional installation. Plus, only Blockbuster will give you an entire year of free movie and game rentals. It's a free DirecTV system. It's free professional installation. It's free rentals for a year. It's the deal you don't want to miss. Get a free DirecTV system only at Blockbuster. Just stop by your local participating store.
I am Emmett Smith.
I'm Emmett Smith.
I'm Emmett Smith.
I am Emmett
Smith.
I am Emmett Smith.
No, really, I am.
Worried that the you shopping online really isn't you? That's why Visa's introducing Verified by Visa, a new security service that will help protect Visa cards from unauthorized online use with a personal password. This service is only available on select Visa cards issued by participating banks.
I am Emmett Smith.
Please.
To learn more and to check if your card is eligible for this service, go to visa.com/verified.
ABC Sunday, starting 9/8 Central. The one night where 2 of television's best dramas are all new.
I want you to kill them all.
Quentin Tarantino in a new Alias. Then 10/9 Central. The brutal attack. Now the heart-stopping fallout. A new practice after a new Alias. Sunday starting 9/8 Central on ABC.
Have the camera in the huddle again, and you look at number 5, Donovan McNabb of the Philadelphia Eagles. One of the league's emerging stars. And he comes into the game as the NFC's 3rd quarterback.
Second time he's been a participant in this ballgame, both as alternates. Replaced Kurt Warner last year, Brett Favre this year.
And the Syracuse product on 1st down hits Owens for a gain of 7. Let's check in with Melissa.
Well, Al, you always hear about players bringing their families, other teammates to the Pro Bowl. Well, John Lynch has brought an extra special guest. DJ Krause, he's 9 years old from St. Petersburg, Florida, and he's battling cancer. He's a huge Bucs fan, and his one wish was to come to the Pro Bowl. What's been the best part about this week?
Being at the game and being in Hawaii.
Oh, great. I'm sure you've had a great time. John, how did this all come about?
We were called at our foundation, the John Lynch Foundation, and a fund, the Children's Dream Fund, told us about DJ's story. and asked us if we could do something, and it's just been great seeing he and his family over here. He's living the Hawaiian experience. He's gone boogie board, and he's enjoying the game down here on the field, having a great time, and he's a great kid.
Well, great. A very special trip. Have fun. All right. Back to you, Al.
Yeah, that's really neat. John Lynch is really a real class guy, class character.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Terrific.
So many players these days have foundations doing so many great charitable things. John leading the way.
3rd down and 3 from the 27-yard line. And that's caught by Allstott, and Lynch's teammate in Tampa Bay picks up a first down before he's run out by Kendrell Bell. What kind of a day has it been for Jeff Garcia, the predecessor to McNabb? Listen in.
Very good.
Take your breath away.
The thing you get out of that is that on every time a quarterback gets hit, there are 2 hits. There's the one when the player gets you, and then there's one when the ground gets you. Not a bad day statistically for Jeff, but physically, not the way he wanted to spend a Hawaiian vacation.
Who laid the biggest lick ever on you?
In this game?
In any game.
Boy, you know, there's just too many to count. Somebody in silver and black, I'm sure.
2nd and 3 from the 37-yard line. Here is Marshall Faulk, stretching, reaching, trying to get that first down. Talked earlier about Curtis Martin and what he's done. Then you have Marshall Faulk, yards from scrimmage, 44-game span, which is almost 3 complete seasons. And that's encompasses his whole Ram career. He's missed 4 games with injuries. And there it is. Most yards from scrimmage over a 44-game span.
It's kind of like when the planets get in alignment. It's when a coach, a system, a great player, or 2 or 3, as the Rams have. That's why you get those unbelievable numbers.
From the 41-yard line, this is Johnson picking up about 7. This Pro Bowl game is being brought to you by Pontiac. What would you do with some Pontiac excitement? Your Morgan Stanley financial advisor who will never let you lose sight of what you're investing for. Verizon Wireless joined in. And a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Are you ready for a cold one?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. Started the day with a cold guava juice. And we'll end it with a cold guava juice.
Or 2.
2nd and 3 at the 49-yard line. Faulk. You know, you talk about the planets in alignment. They were pretty aligned when he was a rookie, Dan, because as a rookie with the Colts, he wound up as the MVP in this game.
Had 180 yards. In fact, still holds the Pro Bowl record for the longest run in the Pro Bowl. It's great to see him here too. You know, he's working on a knee that's less than wonderful. But Marshall Faulk is here at the Pro Bowl.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. The AFC maintaining its advantage 28-16. And our coverage of the 2002 Pro Bowl returns from Honolulu after this from our ABC stations.
Valentine's Wednesday, Drew falls in love with a cop, but it's a fatal attraction.
Hey! You didn't want to shoot me?
A new Drew Valentine's Wednesday on ABC.
Hi. Can I get you a cup of coffee?
Sure. It's time for the Team Dodge sales event, where the entire bold and powerful Dodge lineup comes with our powertrain pledge. 7 years or 100,000 miles of engine and transmission protection that you don't get from Ford, GM, Honda, or Toyota. Plus, get your choice of a cash allowance of up to $2,500 or 0% financing. Great products, great protection, great values. Right now during the Team Dodge sales event.
On the Bond Picture Show.
My name is Pussy Galore.
I must be dreaming. Dream on, because tonight it's Robert Wagner with your favorite Bond women.
Octopussy. Solitaire. Pussy Galore.
All together at the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, Robert.
Goldfinger, tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Vodka martini.
Another one? If you're a double agent taken hostage, what's more important?
They've got Sydney.
Your cover or your life? A new Alias, ABC Sunday, 9, 8 Central.
With many manufacturers facing a tight economy, Oak Express has negotiated tremendous bargains for our Factory Direct special purchase. Now's the time to get incredible savings on Factory Direct real wood home office, home entertainment, and dining room furniture. And during our Factory Direct special purchase, take advantage of no interest for 18 months. Hurry in. We're stocked with savings for the Factory Direct special purchase in Grand Rapids, Battle Creek, and Portage.
News up front and on time. WZZM 13 News at 11.
Indianapolis is the site for tomorrow's ABC Sports coverage, the EA Sports Supercross Series, presented by Speed Stick. Coming your way, mañana. So, Dano, here we go. The final 15 minutes of the season, barring overtime.
No way on overtime. Great to see Donovan McNabb in here. I expect to see him make some of those spectacular plays, huh?
From the 45-yard line on first down, McNabb, a lot of time, guns it over the middle, hits Franks, but he drops the ball. Bubba Franks, the Packer tight end, couldn't hold on. Incomplete second down.
Like Rodney Harrison of the Chargers came in, delivered a big hit from his safety position. Again, it's a very simple zone defense for the AFC as McNabb, with time to throw, is going to try to squeeze it into his big tight end over the middle. And watch Harrison come.
This lodges it, 2nd and 10. Going deep for Owens, and the pass is right there. He makes the catch and has a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. Perfect throw. Donovan McNabb to the 49ers, Terrell Owens, right on the money, down the sideline.
Owens working against Delta O'Neal with a little in fake, and then the speed down the sidelines. Good concentration as Lawyer Malloy was coming over to help out.
So here's McNabb, his team down by 12, trying to draw them to within a touchdown on 1st and goal. Split back set here. 1st and all start in the backfield. On a roll, McNabb, a little shovel, and it is picked off. He shoveled it right into the arms of Junior Seau. Quiet day for Seau, but sooner or later with Junior Seau, he gets into the middle of the action.
And Donovan McNabb might have scored if he holds on to the ball, but he pitches back into the middle, and there's Junior.
In and out. Good. Keep the victim calm. 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay, there you go. It's over 130 channels, sports, news, entertainment, even your local channels, and it's only $39.99 a month.
Just $39.99 a month. Over 130 channels of DirecTV programming, even your local ones. Now get a DirecTV system for $49 or less, installed.
So it was the digital music that... Yeah.
What would you do with the Pontiac Grand Am?
Oh, yeah!
We're going to drive as fast as we can to San Francisco.
We're doing big things with the Pontiac Grand Am. Big things, baby.
3-car park, next 3 exits. How do we get to 3-car? Woohoo! Vegas!
This is like living a dream, baby.
Yeah! Welcome to Vegas, baby. We on the strip, baby.
On the strip.
Oh, yeah!
Girls gone wild at the Bellagio.
Yes.
So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Am?
How you doing?
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Thanks.
Michelob Light.
There you go, baby.
The great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special.
Tonight on WZZM 13 News at 11, college students help file your tax returns for free. Tax help, especially for low-income or minority families, tonight.
Tom Brady comes into the Pro Bowl.
And it looks like he's disguising his bags under his eyes with face paint there. Because he has not slept very much since that wonderful afternoon he had in the Big Easy.
Well, he went from New Orleans, I think he went to Orlando.
Yeah.
To tape the Disney World spot, then to Boston for the parade, and then to Honolulu. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as Priest Holmes picks up about 3. Let's check in with Melissa.
Well, Al, the 5th member of this year's Hall of Fame class, the late George Allen, the former Rams and Redskins head coach, here representing him, his son Bruce. What would your father have thought of this honor?
He'd be so proud for the players and the coaches that worked with him, because he loved the game. He loved the camaraderie he had with all of his players in college and pro, and he'd be real proud.
He loved veteran players. So how would he have dealt with today's game when you have to play so many young guys?
Well, I think he would have loved it. I think free agency was made for someone like my father, because you can always find a guy who will come in and fit with the team and help you win. So I think he would like it.
Changing gears a little bit, you're a top executive with the Raiders. Are negotiations or talks still going on between the Buccaneers and the Raiders concerning John Gruden?
Well, I didn't hear the whole question, but you know, if it has to do with that Tampa speculation, I think John is like every head coach in the NFL. He's under contract and he'll coach for that team in 2002.
The first part was, are negotiations still ongoing?
With who? No, John at the end of the year, we addressed that with John, and we feel real comfortable where we're at right now.
All right, so your lips are sealed, basically. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you, Melissa. As Jermaine Lewis takes the ball to the 39-yard line for a first down.
Jermaine Lewis, who voted into the game as a kick returner, but Jermaine Lewis, as well as a great special teams player, very important to Brian Billick's offense to get him the ball as much as possible. But again, an unprotected player. Maybe going to Houston.
Good witness stand performance by Bruce, by the way. It's Brady from the 39-yard line, and the pass is incomplete. Your Honor, I didn't hear the entire question.
Have you stopped beating your head coach?
2nd down and 10. Now, we've been talking about it throughout the day. The Tampa Bay situation, no head coach there yet. John Gruden's agent telling the Raiders that there's no way that John would come back after next season, which will be the 5th and final year of his existing contract. So a lot of things can happen between now and then, but that's where it stands at the moment. 2nd down and 10 from the 39-yard line. Holmes to the 35.
It's been a pretty good 12 months for graduates at Sarah High School in San Mateo, California. Lynn Swan was voted to the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds hit 73 home runs. Tom Brady, of course, I'm not sure he topped them all, but he certainly surprised us all with his wonderful season and wonderful Super Bowl.
That's where we are. 3rd down 6.
3rd down 6 now from the 35-yard line. Brady hanging in there, and then the pass is incomplete. Intended for Jermaine Lewis. Brady threw only 3 passes in his rookie season. Then came this after the Bledsoe injury.
And the thing about his numbers, the completions are outstanding. That's a great percentage. And of course, in the postseason, similar type of numbers, but he made the plays when he had to. None more important than the winning drive to set up Adam Vinatieri.
Now a 53-yard field goal attempt by Jason Elam, which would be a record for the AFC-NFC Pro Bowl, but he misses. So Elam, who shares with Tom Dempsey the record for the longest regular season field goal, 63 yards, has missed back-to-back attempts, and it stays a 12-point cushion.
Day 15, just 900 feet from the summit.
Day 15.
Where's he going?
Oh, hey, guys. Just gonna mail my credit card payment.
You mean you don't have a Capital One, no hassle card?
Want a choice of payment dates? Try Capital One's No Hassle Card. Plus, get the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates and no telemarketing.
What's in your wallet?
This is the most lackluster pigskin party ever. Gentlemen, you need help. Honey? Spicy.
Who you calling honey? Who you calling spicy?
I'm talking about the intense flavor of KFC honey barbecue wings and spicy barbecue wings. They're drenched in sauce for that big-time flavor.
KFC honey barbecue wings made with real honey and spicy barbecue wings made with smoked jalapeno. Get 8 for $2.99 or 20 for only $7.49.
Hey, Jim, throw me a wing. I'm open. There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
She wore white? She put her past behind her. But you're missing the point of the story. The groom's father-in-law hires him to run the mismanaged shipping department of the family business. No honeymoon? A week in a while. That's nice. Not bad, but keep up. The kid turns to FedEx Ground. They give him affordable nationwide B2B delivery with a money-back guarantee. And he gives Daddy Dearest a high-quality, low-cost lesson in who's the boss. Who is the boss? The kid. The kid is now the boss? The kid is now the boss. That's the story? That's it.
No matter who your favorite team is, call 1-877-NFL-SHOP for your free team catalog.
If you log on now to NFL.com, you can vote for today's player of the game. Your vote will count toward deciding the winner. So you can log on right now. Part of the process to determine the player of the game. Last year it was Rich Gannon. Could be Rich Gannon again today because he had a hot start, 8 for 10 for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dano, the Mano. It's appropriate you're next to Kellen Winslow as well.
Yeah.
McNabb fires to Hurst out in the flat. Garrison to the 44-yard line. Garrison Hurst, who suffered what appered to be a career-ending ankle injury in a playoff game at Atlanta a couple of years ago, and then a spectacular comeback this season.
It had to be the feel-good story, maybe of all time in the NFL, because this ankle injury forced him out of football for 2 years. And all the surgeries he had to be able to come back, not only to run again, to play football again, but to make it all the way to the Pro Bowl.
As McNabb now throwing it a little too high, and that forced Ryan McNeil into a situation where he could lay a lick on Torrey Holt reaching for it.
Torrey Holt trying to make time stand still as he sticks up one hand. But Ryan McNeil, number 47, this is a freebie for a defensive back. All the ribs are exposed.
Second and 10 now at the 44-yard line. And that's incomplete. Check in with Melissa.
Well, Al, Curtis Martin was the Jets MVP this year for the 3rd straight time. Curtis, you go about your job so quietly. Despite all the success, do you ever feel like you don't get the recognition you deserve?
Well, you know, I'd rather be considered the most underrated than the most overrated. You know, that's my philosophy. I want to go in there and I want to work hard. It doesn't matter who doesn't recognize it, I recognize it.
The Jets made it back to the playoffs this year for the first time since 1998. How do you guys build on that going into next year?
Well, you know, we all left with a sour taste in our mouth. We feel that we were better than what we performed this year. We feel that we could have went further. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know, you always have that story, but hopefully next year.
You're a huge Bill Parcells fan. Are you surprised that he didn't come back?
No, I'm not surprised. Bill has done so much for this game. He deserves to do whatever he wants to do. He can come back or he can stay home. Whatever he decides, that's on Bill, and he deserves it.
Last question, what happened on that halfback pass?
Man, I told Hines to run full speed, and I'm just joking. I just overthrew him a little bit.
All right, thanks, Curtis.
All right, thank you, Melissa. And meanwhile, Donovan McNabb scrambling and buying time, and getting free was Torrey Holt, but the pass was underthrown on that last play, and so it's 4th down.
Here you go for your field goal, Al.
Well, look at this. Now, this is going to be a 62-yarder with the wind. David Akers of the Philadelphia Eagles will try to do it.
NFC.
And the NFC getting their right personnel on the field, will take a timeout. So a 62-yard attempt coming up when we come back.
Honey, I've got the black teddy on.
Yeah, okay.
And I put the satin sheets on the bed.
Yeah. Be up in a minute.
I've got cold Bud Light.
Ow.
Honey?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Steve? Debbie?
Make it a Bud Light.
Let me tell you how it will be. There's one for you, 19 for me. 'Cause I'm the tax man.
It took an act of Congress to pass 441 tax law changes. Will it take an act of God to understand them? No one understands the tax law changes better than H&R Block. If you're not satisfied, you don't pay.
In and out. Good. Keep the victim calm. 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay, there you go. It's over 130 channels, sports, news, entertainment, even your local channels, and it's only $39.99 a month.
Just $39.99 a month. Over 130 channels of DirecTV programming, even your local ones. Now get a DirecTV system for $49 or less, installed.
So it was the digital music that... Yeah.
America, America.
Find out what you can do. Contact Volunteers of America today.
Tomorrow, after a hostile takeover of SD6, the only way to save Sydney Bristow is for the CIA to blow her cover. A new alias tomorrow, right here on ABC. Here comes Akers now. The NFC-AFC Pro Bowl record for a field goal is 51 yards. Morton Anderson and Jason Hansen. So this would break that record by 11 yards. This is a 62-yard attempt with the win. And the kick is no good. Had the accuracy, not the distance. And so the score remains the same. 28-16, American Conference.
legendary bloodline is about to boil. Cadillac. Breakthrough.
Tuesday, if you don't watch The Chair.
I'm going to get really cranky. Answer the question. That's correct for nothing. And people, you do not want to see me cranky. I'm your heart stopper this time.
The Chair, hosted by John McEnroe.
I got to practice my line.
A new episode Tuesday at 8, 7 Central, followed by a special New Who's Line on ABC.
Diamond Head on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Well, there's the newest bobblehead doll, the Houston Texan doll.
Love you, dark blue.
Texans beginning play next year. A week from Monday will be the expansion draft. And we will see the Texans make their debut as you take a look at another big Texan, Bruce Matthews. Houston plays its first ever game in the Hall of Fame game in Canton next August, which is a staple here on ABC Sports. So we'll see the Texans against, I believe it's the Giants.
New York Giants, you bet.
Meanwhile, the AFC at the 48. You know who's nervous right now? Some of our friends who like to bet the over. We had a 34-point first quarter. The over-under is 44.5, and those guys who bought mansions in Beverly Hills 2 hours ago are calling for the inspector to take another look right now. And the pass is intercepted at the 24-yard line. Picked off by Champ Bailey of the Washington Redskins. Bailey across the 50. Look at this run back. Reminds you of Eric Allen with Philadelphia a few years ago. Takes it all the way back to the 30.
Champ Bailey at the end of it had a chance to lateral the ball to Sammy Knight, who might have taken it in the end zone. I think that after Bailey makes the interception on Tom Brady, he's going to run about 6 miles here, setting up blockers, cutting across the field, and carrying the ball like the pineapple. Right about here, though, if he laterals to the outside, and he's looking out there right now, Sammy Knight might have taken it in.
Now the Nationals at the 31-yard line with 10 minutes to play in the game. And Donovan McNabb buying time, surveying, great protection. Then he just takes off, and he has a lot of room inside the 20, and then finally forced out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
Now, even in the Pro Bowl, conditioning comes into effect. Look at the pass rush, or lack of it, for the American Conference here. This is about 6 seconds, and then he decides to take off and pick up a whole bunch of yardage.
Shot from the sky cam, hovering high above the field.
That's a great picture, isn't it?
It is. And we find that gizmo quite nicely. From the 19-yard line on first down. This one from Skycam as well. That pass was tipped and incomplete, intended for Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, pass incomplete, intended for Keyshawn Johnson.
And it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the NFC. Kurt Warner started the game. Warner today didn't throw very many passes down the field, just a bunch of swing passes, but I'm sure he's looking forward to giving that thumb a good, long, several-month rest. 2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line as McNabb slings it inside the 10 to Keyshawn, who takes it to the 5, and that'll make it 1st and goal.
And Keyshawn's used to this type of offense, catching 106 balls in the regular season and 1 touchdown. But he led the NFL in catches inside the 5-yard line like this one.
First half goal to go for the NFC.
Working against Deltha O'Neal and getting the ball just to the 5-yard line. Frustrating year for Keyshawn as far as touchdown receptions is concerned.
1st and goal, ball at the 5. McNabb scrambling, then he thought about throwing it away and couldn't. Taken down by Marcellus Wiley. Fewest TD receptions in a season with a guy in triple figures. Larry Centers used to hold the mark at 2. And the Key now has that mark with 1. In the meantime, you've got Big Cat Williams, who was shaken up on that last play. And timeout as they work on Williams. And let's check in with ED.
Thanks, Al. John. I'm here with John Starworth. John, 4 Super Bowls with the Steelers. How does that compare with being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
About on the even keel. You know, the 4 Super Bowls, excited about that. Great times during our time in the Steelers during the 70s. But to look back on that and say that I played well enough during my career that to warrant this honor, fantastic, fantastic.
What one person had the biggest influence on your NFL career and you getting inducted to the Hall of Fame?
Gosh, I don't think I can narrow it down to one, Eric. Certainly my parents are there, my wife are there, a lot of my teammates and the efforts over the years in college and doing the pros. Can't narrow it down to one, but a lot of folks were responsible for my being here.
Thank you, John. Al?
Thank you, Eric. Junior Seau breaking up that last play. The pass dropped by Garrison Hurst. How about 4 guys from that '74 draft of the Steelers now in the Hall of Fame.
And John Stallworth, I was lucky enough to play with him in a couple of these Pro Bowls, but in watching those highlights, you could almost see that he could play and succeed as well today as he did back then. Deltha O'Neal is going to just reach out and grab Keyshawn, and our referee right here, well, he's looking at something else, I guess. But John Stallworth, very deserving of his induction to the Hall of Fame.
McNabb, and finally they get it in. It's Terrell Owens for the touchdown.
You know, you give a normal quarterback time to throw, he's going to find somebody. But when you have a guy with the mobility of McNabb, you're almost guaranteed he's going to find Terrell Owens. He's going to work across the middle and then back to the outside. But watch the lane right there that McNabb has, and the huge target in Terrell Owens.
Well, Owens is going to get a look for player of the game. That's 6 catches for Owens for 93 yards and a touchdown. And now Akers will try to make it a 5-point lead, and he does, to make it 28-23 with 8:12 remaining in the fourth quarter. McNabb to Owens, 5-point lead.
There we go.
Never yield to convention. Cadillac CTS. Breakthrough.
Your buddy is just a whisker away from making the worst decision of his life. But he doesn't see it that way. He's had too much to drink. That's where you come in and keep him from getting behind the wheel. He may not say thank you, but I'll say it for him. Thanks, buddy.
ABC Valentine's Wednesday. Ah, the romance of a daughter's first date. Too bad Damon isn't here to see it.
Oh my God.
Hey, Damon, it's a double date. A romantic new My Wife and Kids. Then what do you give the man who's got everything? How about sexy boudoir photos? A sexy new According to Jim. After My Wife and Kids, ABC Valentine's Wednesday.
Jeremiah Trotter of the Philadelphia Eagles. Linebacker, special teams performer here. And we have him mic'd up.
No, I'm cool. I just banged it down on the turf, man. Fluid. Shut it down. I've been playing like this all season. Anybody hurt me, Jesse, get him. Get him, Jesse.
Dexter Coakley with a little advice, telling him to shut it down. Bruised knee. And there he is out on the kickoff coverage team.
Right.
Trotter. Wow.
Playing with it all season, he's telling Coakley. Akers wearing his wedding ring?
Apparently so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good eyes, Al.
Spot those wedding rings a mile away, Dano. 7-yard line. Troy Brown and his band of renown back up to the 27-yard line comes the New England Patriots. This Pro Bowl game from Honolulu is being brought to you by Cadillac. Breakthrough. FedEx, Ground, International, Online, or Express. Don't worry, there's a FedEx for that. And H&R Block, just plain smart.
Pretty entertaining ball game this afternoon for the fans here.
51 points on the board. Terrell Owens with 6 grabs, including that touchdown reception, and now Brady leading his team from the 27-yard line. Little toss back to the Cincinnati Bengals. Corey Dillon up to the 34-yard line. Dillon breaking Walter Payton's mark, most rushing yards in the game a couple of seasons back against Denver.
Interesting talking to Bill Cowher and his impressions of these players. He is so impressed with Corey Dillon, with his size, with the speed that is so deceptive. And he gets to face him twice every year.
Sure. 2nd down and 4 at the 33-yard line. Dillon. And I think this is the best thing about a game like the Pro Bowl. Here's a guy like Dillon. You just don't see him very often because the Bengals infrequently play in games that get a lot of exposure geographically, and then you're able to watch him and see what he's all about in a game like the Pro Bowl.
And this is what he's all about. The combination of strength, a little bit of determination there too, and then the speed as he runs away from guys down the sidelines. A lot of people were surprised that Dillon re-signed with the Bengals. Would be a major star in a lot of teams.
1st and 10, the ball at the 38-yard line. Dillon again, tripping up. Turf tripped him up at the 25-yard line. And that's a 1st down.
Well, the Skycam's going to give us a real good look at this hole over the right side here. But then he just kind of got Hawaii legs there. One big run and then trying to get a second one and tripped in the sand.
Jet lag. AFC averaging over 7 yards per rush, dominating on the ground, but leading by only 5 under 6 minutes to play. The ball is at the 22-yard line. Dillon again. Turns it back up. Goes to the 21. Here's Melissa.
Well, Al, Cordell Stewart was the Steelers' MVP this season. Cordell, after the last 3 years, all the low points, everything you've been through, how gratifying is it to be at your first Pro Bowl?
It's beautiful, man. You know, when you can go out and accomplish something that obviously no one else can give you credit for trying to do or getting accomplished, and just for yourself, most importantly, and for my teammates and all. So, you know, it's beautiful, man. You know, it's not about all the crazy stuff. It's about this right here, which is having fun and enjoying yourself with other guys. And just being here right now is an honor.
Now, a couple minutes ago, you were talking to Tom Brady, giving him some tips. What kind of tips can you give to the Super Bowl MVP?
Well, I mean, you know, he's still young. I mean, he had the opportunity to go out and be a part of a great system and take his team to a Super Bowl and obviously get the MVP award. But now he's in something, he's a part of something different. Something that I'm very familiar with which is our offense. And being that he threw the interception, you know, and now the score is all of a sudden 28-23. You know, at first everybody's talking to him, hey, Tom, how you doing? Congratulations. And all of a sudden it gets quiet all of a sudden because he throws a pick. And I'm like, man, don't worry about it. It's okay. You know, feel like the world's on your shoulder. Hey, look, I'm going to help you. I carry it with you. Just go ahead out there and just do your thing, man. Just hit the check downs. If you don't like it, throw it away. Don't try to be perfect. Just have fun.
You've certainly had that feeling before. Thanks, Cordell.
Hey, Melissa, you've got a new nickname, you know, on the crew. 3rd down and 8 at the 20. And this is caught by Freestone. Melissa, you don't mind if we call you man from now on, do you?
I've been called a lot of things. I don't know if I've been called man before.
3 times.
I guess that's a compliment, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, you're one of the guys. What can I tell you?
Check Cordell's eyes.
Oh, man. Oh, boy.
Some man.
What do you think he's going to call Eric? That was neat. 38-yard field goal attempt for Jason Elam. And it's good. And that makes it an 8-point game. Uh-oh. What do you smell? 3:41 to play.
Right now, you can get a DirecTV system at Blockbuster absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free. Not only that, we'll also give you free professional installation. Plus, only Blockbuster will give you an entire year of free movie and game rentals. It's a free DirecTV system. It's free professional installation. It's free rentals for a year. It's the deal you don't want to miss. Get a free DirecTV system only at Blockbuster. Just stop by your local participating store.
First reconfigurable luxury SUT. Cadillac Escalade EXT. Breakthrough.
Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Good.
How do you build America's largest wireless network?
Can you hear me now? Good.
By never being satisfied.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
ABC Sports goes strong to the hoop. Highly ranked Oklahoma State battles Fresno State, and Big East rivals meet when Miami faces Boston College. Tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern.
Dano, sunset or sunrise? What's your call? Set?
See,
I agree with you.
There's the green flash coming. Keep your eye on it. I'll tell you.
Okay. Beautiful Hawaii.
And
turned into a gorgeous day as the AFC tries to protect its lead, and Elam's pick is taken by Steve Smith from the 8-yard line, swinging to the outside, turning the corner, flag comes in, and he's out of bounds up at about the 40. Ron Blum and his crew officiating final football game of the season. And this will pin the NFC back on the holding call.
Number 33 of the return team holding during the return. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Ron was quite an athlete at College of Marin in Marin County in San Francisco Bay Area. 3 sport stars, basketball, baseball, and played a little bit of quarterback.
Great golfer.
Absolutely. As good as Arnold Palmer.
Yes. Used to be. From the 21-yard line, first down for the NFC is McNabb. His team down by 8, slings it incomplete. Intended for Terrell Owens. It'll be second down and 10. 3:23 left in the fourth. Let's go to Eric.
Thanks, Al. I'm here with Aeneas Williams. Aeneas, 10 years in the league, 7 Pro Bowls. Played with the Rams this year. First Super Bowl. You didn't win it. But tell me, how was that Super Bowl experience?
It was tremendous, Eric. It was to have such a turnaround as far as a career, to go from the Cardinals and then play with the Rams the first year in the Super Bowl. Tremendous experience. Enjoyed every bit of it, and would have obviously loved to come out on the other end.
Now, if he could do it all over again, that last drive, what would the defense do different, you think?
I don't know. I trust what Lovey had called on that last drive, and I'll do whatever he called again. And they made plays, and they were able to make a play at the end. And you got to give those guys a lot of credit.
Thanks, Aeneas.
Appreciate it.
Al.
Thank you, Eric. Good to see Aeneas Williams toiling in obscurity and anonymity for so long. Finally get the acclaim he so richly deserves.
Really became the shutdown corner for Lovie Smith and that Rams defense. And how about his playoffs? 2 Brett Favre interceptions, both returned for touchdowns. Great story.
Third down and 10 now from the 21-yard line for the NFC, down by 8. McNabb sitting in the pocket. The pass is high. The pass is intercepted. And this is Ty Law. He did it 6 days ago and ran it back for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Here he laterals it to the 12-yard line to Ray Lewis. And Lewis trying to fight his way into the end zone and still on his feet, and he gets into the end zone. Law to Lewis.
There ought to be a law about bad tackling in the Pro Bowl. What determination by Lewis to get the score. Yeah, like 4 guys trying to tackle him there.
Billick may think about turning Ray into a running back.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
He's already got one Lewis running back. How about another one?
Sure.
That was great.
So McNabb's pass sailing, intercepted by Ty Law, and then to Lewis on the lateral for the touchdown. And the extra point by Elam, and Jason's been all over the joint, is just good. Just inside the left upright.
We talked about how the pass sailed on Donovan McNabb. This is a great catch by Ty Law. Watch how high he has to go to get this one. Keeps his balance, and now is thinking, yeah, I'm going to get in the end zone. Here's a good cut across the field here. Look at how it opens up for him. Not very good tackling by the NFC. Garrison Hurst will wrap up Law, but he sees Ray Lewis on the outside, and now the fun begins. This is your bull in the china closet right here. Keyshawn Johnson not able to bring him down. Terrell Owens with a horrible effort there. And Lewis with the score. Skycam takes over for us and shows just how Lewis keeps his feet moving and finding the end zone. This is what happens to a quarterback looking for a place to dive and get out of harm's way.
And it looked like it was a legal lateral by Law. Pretty close. No challenges here to begin with. Let's go to Melissa.
All right, Al. Well, Ray Lewis clearly with the play of the game. You were out of breath. First of all, why didn't you save that for the regular season?
Hey, you know, they say save the best for last.
All right, tell me what happened on that play.
Hey, I saw him going across the field. I saw him cut back. I knew there was nobody else left. I think Keyshawn came off the sideline to try to stop me. But it was a great play by Ty Law, and I just ended it off.
Unbelievable. All right, I'll let you catch your breath for a sec here, but tell me what's going on with the Ravens defense with Marvin Lewis. I mean, what should we expect from you guys next year?
Things are happening. I'm gonna go back out here. I'll be back.
Okay, well, he'll leave us hanging now. Things are happening, but we don't know what.
He's coming back. We'll let him catch his breath, and I want to hear what he has to say about Marvin Lewis. Ray Lewis, the Super Bowl MVP last year, cornerstone of the Ravens defense, and taking it in for the score here in the Pro Bowl.
When you have success, you lose assistant coaches because they get hired somewhere. When you don't have success, you lose assistant coaches because they get fired.
Yeah. And McNabb in traffic. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Two of the more unusual interceptions you'll ever seen have been thrown today by Donovan McNabb. A shovel pass that Junior Seau picked off inside the 5-yard line, and that great play by Ty Law and Ray Lewis.
Second and 10 at the 38-yard line. And that pass is incomplete. Intended for David Boston. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Well, if the AFC holds on and wins this game, this will be the 32nd game in the series since the merger, and the conferences would be even. It would be 16 and 16.
Yes, Alan, I know you're wondering how I did. 1 and 5.
1 and 5.
Yeah, and we were only playing for $5,000 for the winners and $2,500 for the losers. So I went home in the hole a lot.
3rd down and 10. And that pass is caught by Terrell Owens at the 35-yard line. Well, I mentioned, Dan, you hold the record for most yardage in a game.
Careful now. Where are you going with this?
Well, I just wanted to, since I believe in equal time provisions, I'm looking at most interceptions.
I knew you were going there.
Well, the guys must have been running wrong routes. You had 8?
Well, was that in one game?
No. 8 in your 6 appearances. But you hold the record by 2. Jim Hart had 6. Stabler 5.
Well, you know, Donovan McNabb is going to be in this Pro Bowl for a long time. He's going to play in about 6 or 7 more. He's got 2 today. I'm pulling for him to keep firing away, you know.
Dano, Hart had 5 in one game. At least you spaced your 8. Well, you had 3 in the 86 game.
I pulled the hamstring after that 3rd, and everybody was glad. Get him out of here. But, you know, in those days, you know, and when Jim played, we only picked 2 quarterbacks per team.
Right.
And that's my excuse when I'm sticking to it.
That's right, 2 quarterbacks, and the selection process has changed a lot through the years. I think it's more equitable right now. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Less no-shows, of course, since they moved the game to Honolulu.
Oh, what a move.
In 1980. McNabb on the run. McNabb then throws, and this is caught by Owens, who comes back. Not quite the way they drew it up. And Owens is out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
McNabb made a great move on Javon Curse. One great athlete faking out another great athlete. Watch as Curse number 90 comes in right about here. Woo! Even faked our camera. And watch the catch as McNabb throws it behind Owens, and he just reaches out and snatches it. Here's Javon Curse. He thinks he's got a quarterback sack there. This is a most unusual quarterback, though.
8 catches for Owens. Randy Moss holds the AFC-NFC Pro Bowl record with 9. He accomplished that 2 years ago. And now we have delay of game called against the NFC.
5 yards. Repeat 2nd down.
Oh, is that right? Is that a promo? Does that count as promo time, Fred?
Why not?
Goldfinger.
Shirley Best.
2nd and 14. As McNabb throws to Hurst. And Garrison loses the football on the far sideline, but the NFC retains possession at the 2-minute warning. How about that? How about the clock operator? It stops when it should be going. It's going when it should stop.
No problem, brother.
Would you check that clock operator's booth on the way out, please? 2-minute warning, we think. 38-23.
He was a threat to go the distance every single time he touched the football. Or as one rival coach used to say, Barry Sanders has 2 speeds. Here he comes, and there he goes.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors. Here it comes, and there he goes.
A legend reborn. Cadillac CTS. Breakthrough.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go! Go!
No. Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that is awesome. Get Selsun Power.
No time for a splitting headache, so I took control fast with Advil Liquid Gels. Tylenol's no match on tough pain. Advil Liquid Gels are faster and stronger.
You have the strength to get rid of pain fast. Take control. Take Advil.
Tonight it's Robert Wagner and your favorite Bond women.
Oh, Robert.
At the infamous Playboy Mansion. I must be dreaming. Goldfinger, tonight on ABC.
Dano, later tonight, when you and I are performing these feats.
Yes.
And Eric.
And don't forget our man, Melissa.
Our man, Melissa. Goldfinger coming up next, except on the West Coast where we have college basketball coming your way. Well, our crew winding down its season. Fred Cadelli has done such a masterful job of producing, and Drew Esikoff directing our Monday night package this year, which concludes with a Saturday afternoon Pro Bowl game, and the NFC trying to come from behind here, and the pass is taken in at the 26-yard line by David Boston.
I like to look at this as the beginning of this next season now, not the last of last.
True.
We just have a couple of bye weeks, and then we'll be right back at it.
Yep, it seems that way. Flag on the play here.
I believe this might be one of those detected from the observer upstairs. They're on the walkie-talkie down below.
No idea. I think the line judge.
Illegal defense, number 95. 15 yards. First down.
One of those illegal defense calls again.
Yeah. Jameer Miller is a linebacker in this game, and he could not do this. He is up pressing against the wide receiver. So this man right here, or got the word from upstairs that this is unsportsmanlike conduct. Jameer's used to getting after the quarterback, not playing pass defense.
And that is a 15-yard penalty here, which moves the ball just inside the 15-yard line and gives the NFC a first down. 1:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. AFC on top by 15. McNabb for Hurst to the end zone. Touchdown, Garrison Hurst. And with a minute and a half to play, it's 38-29.
As simple a touchdown pass as you'll ever see. Swing pass out to the right to number 20, Garrison Hurst. The NFC had two blockers out in front as it's a quick screen, and a great move at the goal line to get in for the score.
Well, to tie the game, you're going to need a one-pointer and a two-pointer, and they'll opt for the one-pointer right here. Take their chances and go for the two-pointer if they can get into the end zone again. Akers to try to make it an 8-point game, and he does, so it's 38-30. And the NFC would have one timeout remaining, so they are forced to try an onside kick here. East Coast Bond picture show Goldfinger. West Coast, you'll see Oregon, the Ducks taking on the Golden Bears at Berkeley. Not just the East Coast, but those of you in the Midwest and in the Mountain Time Zone will be seeing Goldfinger. Thanks to Mark Ameno up here, filling in so admirably and capably for George Hill in the mountains of Utah. And our spotter ending his 16th season, but not calling it a career as yet.
Better not.
Malibu Kelly his. Can't afford to call it a career yet. He's building a new home. Onside kick is imminent. Akers will try to kangaroo hop it into the arms of a blue and white clad NFCer. If the AFC recovers, they can run the clock out, in as much as the NFC has only one timeout remaining.
And most of the athletes out there are defensive players for the NFC on this onside kick.
So Akers to kick it has to go 10 yards. In the air, jumping up, making the grab was Rod Woodson. And Rod Woodson is able to secure the football and in effect secure an AFC victory. So Rod handing a present to his old coach, Bill Cowher.
Yeah, Rod Woodson, his 10th Pro Bowl, definitely going to be a Hall of Famer one day. But again, it's like Bruce Matthews. You have to retire before you can start that 5-year clock ticking. Watch Woodson come up high. It's a great kick by Akers. But only Woodson went after the ball while it was in the air.
They need a new DJ here, I decided.
Where's Don Ho?
Oh, man. Where's Danny Calvacchini?
Yeah. Best play in football for the winning quarterback.
Little kneel down will do it. And the NFC will stop the clock, but that's their last stoppage. And we understand that Rich Gannon has been voted the player of the game, so that's the second year in a row for Rich Gannon.
The award named after Dan McGuire, former columnist with the Advertiser here in Honolulu, also former 49er publicist back in the Brody and Tittle days.
That's right. He wins this Cadillac. That's the prize. Dan McGuire was married to Margaret Keane, who was the great artist.
Absolutely.
And now Brady on a couple of kneel downs can wrap it up, and Brady can walk off the field a winner for the second time in 6 days. Rich Gannon got it started for the AFC. NFC was able to hang right in there until the very end, but the AFC is going to go home with $30,000 per man. NFC $15,000 per participant. And let's check in again with Melissa.
All right, well, when Ray Lewis last ran away, he said things are happening. We were talking about Marvin Lewis. Can you just give us some kind of sense of what you were talking about?
I mean, he's probably going to be back with us. I'm not happy with what people done to him. You know, I think he should. Everybody in the situation should have been a man about it one way or another. Then not let a guy set his family up and think one thing and then another thing goes different. But I'm disappointed that he didn't get it, but at the same time happy that we stayed together.
Lucky to have him back, I guess. Yeah. Thanks, Ray.
Well, that remains to be seen. And Ray, of course, talking about the fact that it appeared that Marvin Lewis would be hired by Tampa Bay, then that was squashed by the Glazer family. And then apparently Marvin is meeting with the Redskins about the possibility of becoming their defensive coordinator. So a lot still to be determined, except the outcome of this game has been determined.
And as Ray said, things are happening all over the league.
Things are happening, but the season is over. It's history, and the AFC has won the Pro Bowl. Back in a minute.
Let's have a listen. It's got to be the puppy chow.
Vets have been recommending Puppy Chow for years. There's no better way to get him off to a strong and healthy start. Purina Puppy Chow brand. Some puppies' needs are different than others. That's why there's Puppy Chow Large Breed formula to help big dogs develop strong bones and joints.
Introducing the tough new crew cab long bed. It's the next frontier.
ABC Sunday, starting 9/8 Central. The one night where two of television's best dramas are all new.
I want you to kill them all.
Quentin Tarantino in a new Alias. Then 10/9 Central. The brutal attack. Now the heart-stopping fallout. A new practice after a new Alias. Sunday starting 9/8 Central on ABC.
Been a great year, and on behalf of Dan Fouts and Dennis Miller, Eric Dickerson, Melissa Stark, Al Michaels with a reminder again. The final score here was the AFC 38 and the NFC 30 in the Pro Bowl. 32 of these have been played, now tied at 16 apiece. Stay tuned now for the Bomb Picture Show Goldfinger, West Coast only, college basketball.
ABC Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.